much better person to be around. So there may be some sort of, slight disagreements that might come up over the Easter break. Isn't it wonderful about holiday times? It brings out some of the family skeletons out of the closet that we thought that we'd long dealt with. All of a sudden they're there and we need to confront them again. I don't know what it is about holidays and get-togethers with family. I suppose it's because we have a lot of family members in one room, and that's the ideal time to bring up these things, but it doesn't always make it for a pleasant time. We also have Uranus, the planet of the unusual and the unexpected, is conjunct Venus in Taurus as well. So for those of you that might be seeking love or looking to sort of move into a new relationship or wondering when some really nice positive things are going to happen in your life, now is the time when we can attract new love. We have to be aware, though, that this person that we attract under this cycle may be somebody completely different. They may have a completely different outlook, maybe the type of person that we've never been out with before in our past, that's somebody that sort of really is intriguing and different. We also need to make sure that there is enough points of things there that really would glue a relationship together. It's all well and fine to being attracted to somebody daring and different and completely different from anybody you've ever attracted before, but there needs to be some common ground there. There needs to be something there to build a relationship on. Let's not just get sort of carried away with the point of, wow, this person's so different, of course I must fall in love with them because they are so different. There always needs to be something there that holds a relationship together, and not just the first initial attraction of somebody looks wonderful, or they really, I like being in their energy. There has to be a lot more than that makes a long-term commitment. Friendship is very, very important, understanding each other and also being there for each other and not sitting in judgment, but supporting the other person through their dreams and things that they wish to make a reality. We have Saturn, the planet of discipline, has just entered into Pisces, hasn't been there very long now. So Saturn here is asking sort of all the Pisceans to sort of really get their act together a little bit. It's about restructuring their lives. And restructure doesn't necessarily have to be difficult. It can be something that we do gently as we go along. It can be something that we sort of say to ourselves, yes, I'm very comfortable with this. I'm happy to make some changes in my life. I'm happy to grow up a little bit more. Maybe I'm happy to not sort of just leave things to chance anymore. Maybe it's time for me to start putting a little bit of extra effort in, some action in to make things a reality. So this is a good time to have sort of Saturn going through the sign of Pisces, because it means it's going to bring structure to their lives. And many Pisceans are very, very creative little souls. And sometimes with that creativity, they forget to be able to harness it or focus on it to a way that they can bring it to fruition. So Saturn sitting here will actually give them that discipline, will give them that structure that sometimes Pisces people really lack. It's sort of like they come up with these brilliant ideas. They're amazing to be around. They have this most wonderful outlook on life, but they forget how to structure things. They forget that you've got to meet deadlines and, things like that are really important in the real world, that we do need to meet deadlines. So for Saturn is actually making a lovely aspect to Mars in Cancer. Now, Mars in Cancer is the planet of action. It's the planet of sometimes people call it the planet of war. I don't like to look at it in that way, because hopefully we're not going to have too many more wars in the world. But I like to look at Mars as being the planet of action. It's what gets us out of bed of a morning. It's what drives us. It's our ambition. It's our drive. It's our stickability, whatever label you want to put on it. So with Mars sitting in Cancer here at the moment, it's bringing that sort of really soft, watery, homely sort of feel, the nurturing sort of feel to everything. So it's interesting if you're trying to get a new project off the ground, regardless of your star sign, allow your creativity to run wild a little bit. Allow it to run wild and find its own level, and then bring in the action, the drive from Mars that can sort of bring things home. It's sort of like there's opportunities abounding. I know lots of people at the moment are looking at whether or not they're going to stay in current positions, current jobs that they're in. Is it time for a change? Is it time for a move? And for a number of people, it is time for a change, or it is time for a move. But this is about listening to your inner voice, listening to your inner intuition, and sort of saying, is this precisely the right time for me to be making a change? Or am I just being a little bit, I'm sick of everything and I want to overthrow everything everything because I'm bored, because I'm cranky, because I didn't have enough sleep. You've got to make sure that the changes are right for you, that it's not something that you just sort of are doing because you got out of bed the wrong side this morning. So the final planet I want to talk about is Pluto. Now, Pluto has just gone into Aquarius in the last 10 days. Now, he'll only dip his toe in the water, so to speak, here in Aquarius until about June. So it's interesting to see how Pluto is going to play out, because Pluto hasn't been in Aquarius in over 200 years. So we don't have a lot to go back on to look at and sort of say what are the symbolic things that how Pluto behaved last time it was in Aquarius. I've just noticed in this last 10 days that with Pluto in Aquarius, it's really interesting how people are really sticking to what they believe in, whether they're politicians or who they might be, or people in prominent positions, or even just yourself. It's like, well, this is what I believe in, and don't question it. I'm not going to give you a reason why I believe in it. I just do. So to me, Pluto was sort of intensifying that I know this is what I believe in, this is what's important to me, and I'll shove it down your throat whether you want to hear it or not, but this is my belief system and don't challenge it. So I think all of us need to be aware that while Pluto has just dipped his toe into Aquarius, that we don't get on our soapbox and become too dogmatic in conversations that we're having and shut our ears off to listening to someone else's point of view. It's really interesting because people will really go to the nth degree to defend a type of behaviour or a belief system or a way that they've always done things. And I think we're going to see this a lot in political circles around the world, where politicians are going to get up and say, well, this is the way it's always been done, and this is the way we're going to continue because this is what the party believes in, and this is the party belief system, and this is how this country was founded. And we're going to see a lot more conversations like that, where it's almost as if they're trying to convince themselves that they've always been right, and there's no other way that we can look at something. Now, the Aquarian energy is about thinking outside the square, is finding new and innovative solutions. So it's interesting, it's almost in a tug of war, where Pluto was sort of being so dogmatic and wanting to hang on to the old and the tried and the true, whether it's working or not, that's the way we're going, and we're not going to change it. Where the Aquarian energy is coming in and trying to disrupt that and sort of, you know, get a jackhammer in under the foundations and saying, are they really that secure? Haven't you thought of maybe a different way of approaching this? So I think we're going to be heading into some interesting times. So for Aquarians, you may be feeling a little bit uncomfortable, feeling as if your world's walking around on quicksand and not secure like it was. Just get used to it, because once Pluto moves in there, he's going to be there for a very long time. That won't be till the end of 2024 on a permanent basis, for a very long time, but we're going to have a few ins and outs up until then. So I hope that's helped you understand a little bit more about what's happening around the universe this week. We're going to talk with Trinea in Seal Beach in California. I hope I've pronounced that right. I'm sure I haven't. But anyway, how can I help you today, sweetie? Hello, are you there, Trinea?
Hello, hi.
Hi, sweetie. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Is there a question I can answer for you?
Well, I was actually looking for mediumship. As far as questions go, I'm looking for see how my financial is going to be, and with my new job, and also am I going to stick with it? But I also was just really into mediumship because I had several people that had passed away. So.
Okay, sweetie, look, mediumship is not something you can do in a couple of minutes to do it properly. What I can do is answer your question for you. If somebody wants to chime in from the other side, I'll be more than happy to pass on the messages. But they quite often get a little bit of stage fright coming through with the whole world listening in too. And it's something that, you know, it doesn't always happen quite that quickly. So as far as your new job situation is concerned, I'm not sure that you're in the right job. I sort of feel a little bit uncomfortable still with it. Is that how you're feeling? Because to me, it's not sort of fitting like a glove, like I'd like to feel it should.
Right, not like I wanted it to, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to say let's give it a little bit more time, because I don't know that, you know, some things that we move into, particularly with jobs, we walk in and day one it feels like it fits like a glove and it's where I'm meant to be and I feel like I'm home, and then there's other things that are a bit prickly. And this one to me feels a little bit prickly. It's not that you can't do the job, it's not that you're not competent. It's just that I'm just not sure that people are that friendly. It's sort of like everybody's sort of so caught up in their role. It's sort of people have forgotten to sort of say, hey, how are you? Are you coping? Is there anything I can help with? I just feel by the end of April, the early part of May, I think you're going to feel a lot more comfortable with the role than you do now. And I do actually think it will grow on you. And interestingly enough, I think you're going to stay there for quite a long time. So it's obviously going to improve then if you're going to stay there for a number of years and not sort of, at the moment you're thinking, well, have I made the right choice? Should I be looking for something else? No, I don't think you should jump to that conclusion yet. Let's just sort of take one day at a time and see where it goes. You weren't wrong when you said there was quite a few people on the other side. I've got quite a gathering of people there sort of all sort of waving and saying hello. Nobody's sort of really coming through with any particular message other than they all want to be first. Is that how your family behaved?
Yeah.
They all want to be the number one. They all want to be the centre of attention because that's the way they're behaving to me, like a classroom full of 10-year-olds all going, look at me, look at me, look at me, it's I'm over here waving, and that's how they're all, but obviously they're happy to be able to sort of, look at me, wave and sort of get some sort of message through. So I'm taking it from that with nobody sort of popping forward and saying, look, I have a really significant message that this has got to be passed on, that they're all happy with the way things are unfolding. Was there one particular passing of a female that you were puzzled by or was harder to get over the loss of?
Well, probably my mother, and that was the only female, but yes, it was a little bit disturbing for me, but yeah, I mean, that's still all I could think of for a female, but yeah. Yeah,
no, it was just that this female came forward and she didn't sort of say much. She just said you'd had an issue or were more upset over losing her, as if there was question marks around it, as if you didn't fully understand it. That was the way she presented it to me. Was there question marks over her death?
Yeah, and I still don't. Yeah, I still don't. It was my mother. I mean, she was on hospice. Yeah, and I questioned it because one day she was, fine, and then the next day she's in hospice, and there was just questions about it, why did it happen so quick like that? So. Yes, I wasn't comfortable with the situation.
No, and that's why I think she brought it up. But she's sort of saying to me there was nothing abnormal about it, like it was just the way it was. Things just escalated very quickly. She was more upset about the fact that you were upset about that part than, I mean, it's always sad when we lose somebody. I'm not trying to minimise that, but that's the thing that's been standing out or bothering her, if I can put it that way, that you didn't have answers, that you were still questioning it and not just getting on with the process of grieving and missing her and remembering the good times, that you were sort of stuck in this groove. And that's why I think she pushed away to the front. Let me assure you, she sort of literally knocked people out of the road to get there, to get her say. And that was sort of different to the way, everybody was waving and sort of, as I said, behaving like 10-year-olds in a classroom. And then all of a sudden this woman pushed her way through to the front and she was literally knocking people out of the road because she needed to get this message across. So there's nothing there that was sinister. I think that's the main thing she wants you to know, and she just wants you to get on with understanding that, she's happy, she's settled, she's not sick anymore, and she loves you and she misses you, and, enjoy your time with the family over Easter. Anyway, sweetie, that's where we're going to have to leave it. We're going to talk with Tammy now in Erin, Pennsylvania. Are you there, Tammy?
Yes.
Do you have a question I can answer for you, sweeties?
I'm trying to figure out if now is the right time to tell somebody that I love them, because I'm kind of scared to.
Okay,
and I'm not sure if it's the right one or not.
The right time or the right person to say I love you to? The right time, is it?
Both. right time or not.
Of course, I can understand that. It's always a very difficult thing when you're in a relationship, and particularly when it's still relatively new. When do you bring up that L word? You know, we don't want to frighten someone off, but at the same time, you want the other person to know that you are really serious about them and that they mean a lot to you, and that, you know, the word love conjures up a lot of different things for a lot of different people. Sweetie, I don't know that you need to sort of try and decide whether this is the right time and, you know, get all tense and upset about it and worried about it. Let's just let things flow in their own natural way. I think there's going to be a natural opening for those words to come out, and it won't be something that you've sat down and thought about or rehearsed or whatever. I think it will just happen, and it'll happen naturally, and I'm going to say it's going to be very well received, because I can see him turning around saying something to the effect, and I love you too, and I always have. So, you know, let's not sort of put too much pressure on the situation. Let's just enjoy the time that you've got together and let things sort of flow. I think, you know, we get so caught up in everything, particularly at the beginning of a relationship, where we don't want to frighten someone off by us being too strong, too emotional, too whatever. But at the same time, we need to find that balance to let them know that we're there and that we care for them, and, you know, this is really important to you. I don't think he's the world's greatest communicator, and particularly when it comes to matters of the heart, he gets a little bit tongue-tied. He practices everything in his head 5,000 times, and then when he goes to say it, nothing comes out, and he sort of seems a bit clumsy or says something that seems really abstract or stupid. But look, I think once we get this initial I love you out, I think things will flow a lot easier. Look, I really think this union is very positive. I think the two of you are very, very well suited. You've both had some heartache in the past that you're both aware of and don't wish to repeat. But at the same time, I don't think each one of you are frozen in fear of never falling in love again either. And sometimes that's the thing, people sort of promise themselves they're never going to be hurt again, and they shut everything down so that they never allow love in again, or it takes a long time for it to come back in. But with you guys, I think it's, you know, the block of ice is nicely thawing at a nice pace, and I think before too long the two of you will be starting to talk futures and what we're going to do when we do this and when we do that as a couple, as a serious couple, which is good. So which one of you would move?
He would.
He would? Okay. Because that's something that I know. That
it's something he's already looking at doing. So.
Yeah, I just felt that there, as things become more serious, there would need to be a move. And I don't mean moving into a house together. I mean a move that's a little bit more distant than just round the corner to me. So that would be him,
right? Yep. Yes.
Yeah, but
he's already looking.
Yeah, I was going to say that. He's already starting to look. He's already been thinking about it, making plans. Now, that's not something that you do if you're not in love with somebody or believing that this is going to be a more serious connection than just a casual acquaintance. So, you know, there's certainly sort of quite a bit of movement in the camp there. He's a really, really nice man. I just keep getting a lovely smile on his face. There isn't much that rattles his cage. You know, he's a very patient man, a very caring man. He keeps telling me he's not really good with the words. And yet I want to say that, you know, you don't have to write a novel. You know, just 3 little words, I love you, can mean the world, can't they? I mean, you don't need a great expanse past that point. It's just, I don't think he's ever really considered himself very romantic, and all of a sudden he's got all these romantic ideas with you, you know, buy the flowers, do this, say I love you and tell you how beautiful you are, and he's got to try and bring that into his daily repertoire. But I do think he will, and everything will move forward. So anyway, that's where we're going to leave the readings for today. So we've come to the end of the show again. I mean, the half hour goes very, very quickly, as I appreciate. And it's interesting because it's a time of the year where most of us miss the people that have left us, that we have them back in our thoughts. And, you know, for many people, it'll be the first Easter without their loved ones. And that's a particularly hard time because it's a time when you're used to celebrating or have family get-togethers and meals together and a lot of laughter, and all of a sudden that one person is missing or a number of people are missing, and it makes it harder to sort of go on. But let me assure you, everyone that's gone before us wouldn't want to see you sad. They want to see you making new memories, happy memories, and getting on with life and celebrating, and have a little chat with them. Set up a little area that's just for those that are no longer with us, so that you can feel that you've made a special, place at the Easter table, or have an Easter egg for them. I mean, I'm sure they'll be pleased if you do that. So anyway, this week I want to leave you with a song that was written by one of the world's most prolific songwriters, and I don't think there'll ever be anybody that can write a song like this man could. And he wrote many, many songs, but this one in particular says it all. I Say a Little Prayer for You. Burt Bacharach wrote that beautiful song for Dionne Warwick, and it's one of the most beautiful, inspirational songs I think that we can have at this time of the year, where, I will say a little prayer for you over Easter. So happy Easter, everyone, and see you next week. Bye for now.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Spiritual Connections with Psychic Medium Cindy. Psychic Medium Cindy. Live from Facebook.com/Psychic Cindy. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Spiritual Connection on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It's great to be here tonight. I hope everybody had a great week. Hope everything is going well. And happy Canada Day for all the Canadians out there. This weekend, on Monday, we celebrate our birthday, which is always exciting. And, you know, interestingly enough, I'm in Halifax, so surprise, surprise, we're having like a little bit of rain, a little bit of sun. I'm hoping sun on Monday so we can see the fireworks. Because, we like to celebrate with fireworks too in our country. So fingers crossed, everybody, that everybody in Canada gets some nice sunny weather for Monday. But yeah, so I was thinking, hey, what can we do tonight? Like, what's going on? Well, what's going on is July 1st, new month. What's July going to bring for us? I thought, let's pull a few oracle cards before we get a caller, and then maybe just a few cards to see the theme of what's July is going to look like for all of us. But for some reason, I was drawn to pull some of these Earth Magic Oracle cards. These are beautiful cards, beautiful artwork. And yeah, so interestingly enough, first one I'm drawn to talk about right now is the fog. And it's called Veiled. And this is really interesting because it's usually comes when a decision needs to be made and we're just kind of not sure where to go. Like, should we go this way? Should we go that way? Or somebody's brought something up to you, maybe a proposal, and you're like, well, I'd like to do it, but I'm not quite sure that, what the details are because things just look a little foggy. So that might be something that comes up even in the month of July, because I was just talking about July. So if something of a proposal comes or a decision has to be made and you're just not clear about it, just sit with it a while, use your intuition, and maybe ask somebody for a little bit more details. If you have to ask for like a little bit of advice, if you have to go to an expert and ask for advice, then do that. So just a couple more cards because I'm just curious. I didn't do any readings for myself yet or get any from anybody else for the month of July. So what's it gonna look like for the collective out here, Spirit? What is July gonna look like for us? Let's see. All right. Well, right from go, it looks like it's going to be fast month. We got the number 8 here. It's called Accelerated Motion. I love this card. It is fast moving. It can mean that there's communication coming in. In the old tarot, this would be the 8 of Wands. But in the picture on this card, for those that you can see, those that you can't see, there is a lady and she's looking at a star in the sky. And this card always feels like to me that your wishes are coming true. The 8 is all about abundance. So it always feels like a manifestation card to me. So maybe something that we've manifested, something we've been waiting for, some sort of abundance is going to come into our life. The wands are all about creativity and passion. So it could be a new relationship. It could be like you're getting that beautiful career that you've been asking for. But whatever it is, good themes, good start. Maybe we'll do some more cards for July next week when I'm on. Right now we have Helen in Buffalo. Hi, Helen.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Okay, what can I do for you tonight, Helen?
Well, I just like to see what you see in the cards for me.
What's in the cards for Helen? Okay, right on. So just in general, hey, we'll see what's going on. I'll pull a few cards and then we'll dig a little bit deeper if we have to, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right on. I was going to grab a different deck tonight, but Old Faithful, hey? Like I love this deck.
Okay. I'm using a different deck.
Yeah, it's just one of my favorites, right? I think it's easy for people to understand this deck, which is really, helpful, right? It's not as too much.
What's your name again?
Cindy.
Oh, Cindy. Oh, I can remember that, Cindy. Yes, I know people named Cindy. It's an easy name to remember.
That's right. Okay, so what's beautiful about this, Helen, is like I'm asking the spirit world what you need to know because I'm just doing a general reading for you. And the first card that comes out is the number 6, and it's victory and success. So victory and success is definitely on the way for you. The card that I picked right after is material abundance. So this is material harvest, which is all about abundance, which is you reaping your rewards of all your hard work. This would be like the 9 of Pentacles if you were using the old tarot, which is really always about a wish fulfillment. So not quite a surprise. So whatever you've been wishing for when it comes to maybe a little bit extra cash, some changes in your career, it's coming, right? And it's coming soon, I would say. And
I hope so. Mm-hmm.
I hope so too. Have you been manifesting it by any chance? Have you been asking the spirit world to bring that in?
Oh yeah, when the time's right, yes.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. They love that. That's like the favorite thing of the divine is divine timing. They're like, yeah, we'll bring it in when we believe it's the right time. That's awesome. So what this is going to bring in for you overall, Helen, is balance. The number, this is an 11, which we put into a number 2 because we have to go down to angel numbers. And balance is all about mind, body, and soul, right? This card really is like the ultimate balance in your life. And that's exactly what happens. So, if you're feeling a little short, feeling a little shy, and maybe in the finance department, and then, things come in and you're able to like get rid of some of those bills, or you're just able to go on vacation or whatever it is that you're going to do with it. It really is going to benefit you.
Oh, yes, I like to go on vacation, yes.
Yeah, there you go. And you know what? Going on vacation is really rejuvenating. You know what I mean? Like it gives you the rest, it gives you the recovery. It really makes you feel really good, and brings in a lot of balance. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm hoping that that's what you're going to get. I'm just going to pull a few more cards just to see what else is going on with you. This time I'm going to do like more of because I have some time. So we're going to do more of like a situation spread just to see if there's anything a little bit more specific that they want to tell you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Oh, wow. Okay, beautiful. Okay. So interesting enough, the first card that I pulled for you was like, what's the situation? Like, what's going on with Helen? Is another number 2 card, and we have the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is really a feminine card. It's, that's the area where we tend to hold all our wounds and our sorrows and stuff. But it's also just really says that you're going to get what you want because it's the I want card, right? Very much.
I hope so. I've been waiting a long time.
Yeah. You and a lot of people, right? You and a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
The world has been.
Oh, yeah, we all got to wait.
Been really messed up. So we're waiting for that, you know what I mean? That to come to an end. But and it's really, this is really good because this is kind of in your challenge spot, is the hope card. You got to get another number 8, which is all about abundance. And them just really saying to you, don't give up hope, Helen. Don't give up hope. This card is beautiful. It's so bright. It's all about the spirit world saying, we're right here. We're going to give it to you. And the guidance for you is interesting. Is number 4, which is building a firm foundation, which usually for me is always a sign of something that's definitely coming in. And when I look at this card, how we read cards is we're drawn to either the number, what it says, or the picture. And when I look at this card, I'm drawn right to that window. And that window means that when God closes the door, he opens the window. So definitely something coming in.
Yeah. That's good. But I have one question for you.
Sure.
Do you see my son coming home to live with me? And if it'll work out if he comes home to live with me?
I can try to do that.
Okay.
But quickly, I don't know if I'm going to have much time, but we'll do quickly finish this reading. So I want you to focus on triumphant success because that's your last card. It's just all about new opportunities. And your final one is passion ignited. So yet again, your passions, your desires, what you want is definitely coming in. So be ready for that, Helen, because new opportunities are coming. But I do have time, so I got quite a bit of time here, so I can see if your son is going to come back.
He just got out of jail. He's staying at a halfway house, and he's supposed to come back and stay with me, and I don't know if it's going to work out with him with me or...
Okay, yeah. No, that's true. That's a lot of responsibility, right?
Oh, yeah.
For him and for you, right? Because he'd be...
Oh, yeah, because he's a hand. He used to be a big handful.
yeah, exactly. And now you're like, hopefully that's not going to be the case. All right.
He's working and he's doing good.
Oh, good. You know what? Probably going to be the best thing for him. We'll see what the cards say.
Okay.
All righty. That's interesting. So I was thinking about that when I was talking to you. Okay. So right now, like the situation is sort of there's a suffering and silence here. The 9 on this card is all about things are coming to an end. So there's going to be a change. If you could see this card, she's looking towards the sun, which is really positive because she's like moving in towards the sun. So definitely means change. The obstacle is that there is healing. There's still healing going on. It's not really an obstacle. It's more like just a bit of a challenge. The 5 is all about change. So your son is probably still healing from everything that he's been through over the few years, right? So he'll just need
the last 12 years, yes.
There you go. So he's going to have to continue to get his therapy or stay grounded, stay healthy, stay focused. But the guidance is the power card, which is strength, which tells me that between you and him, you all have the strength and the power to get through everything that you need to get through, which is really beautiful. And in the end, there is wisdom there, which is really, really nice. The number 5, all about change. And the wisdom, usually for me, when I see that, it sort of means the student becomes the teacher. So if he sticks to everything he's supposed to do, sticks with his healing, you're very welcome. Thank you. All right, everybody, have a great week. Happy Canada Day. And I'll be back next Thursday. We'll do it all over again and see what's happening with more details about the month of July.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Medicine for Your Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Namaste, Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. Wow, this month is really going to be quite a ride for all of us. We've just here in Australia, it's the day after you're in America, in the Northern Hemisphere, especially America, the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July. England's just had their land sweeping election. There's stuff happening everywhere. America's in the whole awakening to what's going on there. So with everything that's been going on, and those who have been watching me will know that I've been talking a lot about this incredible amount of division and separation that's going on the planet, and it's debilitating. And being a light worker, being an aware person, living a soul-led life means that we have to overcome some of these obstacles. We have to overcome the efforts to drive us apart. So I opened up my book. I've got this book I wrote, Alchemy of Awareness. It's like an oracle book. And I often, I get a message from it each day. So today I opened it and thought, okay, what's a message we can start this call with? And what opened up is this. As the tests arise, see them as a fabulous opportunity to acknowledge where you are now, how much you have experienced and learned over the years. So it's a really nice comfort to, look at what's going on and go, wow, I do know better and I can contribute in a different way. And it just means I have to find that extra bit of peace and acceptance in my own life to whatever's going on around me and really start to look at who I am. One of the themes that's come up a lot in the last week or two is the theme of know what you stand for. So in this really chaotic time of massive change on the planet, and I feel like we've really just about gone over the point of no return, we have to know who we are. And so finding yourself, knowing yourself, trusting yourself and being yourself is the only way forward. And then when you know that about yourself, you know what you stand for. And when you know what you stand for, you don't fall for anything. Because what you stand for is your principles and your values. It's your contribution, it's your heart calling. So just have a think about this week. We've got Independence Day. So have a look at where are you being independent in your own thought, in your own offerings, in your own feelings, what is true for you. So I do have a caller here. I'm sorry, I missed your name. I was talking, I'm sorry. Barbara. Hi, Barbara. It's Raylene here.
Hi,
how can I be of support or guidance or assistance or help for you today?
Oh, okay. No, I was just curious about my family, how they were, how they were doing, my grandchildren.
How old are your grandchildren?
One is 32, he's disabled. Then I have one that's 26 and a boy that's 25.
Okay, so what are you concerned about with them?
Well, my oldest grandson is ill. He has disabilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and he's 32?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you just want a general overview of them. I want to ask you how you are, actually. I'm feeling more inclined to ask how you are.
I guess I'm doing okay. I had an operation on my shoulder. They did a complete shoulder operation, but it's taken a while, It's a long process.
Yes, and, we never, as families, as you know, matriarchs in families, we never stop worrying about our children and our grandchildren and those that come after that. So let's see what we've got here for you, Barbara. I feel more inclined for you to... the first thing I want to say is stop worrying. Stop worrying. That's part of, the stuff that happens with us. And we wear the burdens on our shoulders and around our neck and everything gets tight and heavy. And, it's one of the things I know about worry is when we worry about stuff, we're investing energy towards something that we don't want. But when we are offering blessings and gratitude and good intentions, then we're utilising energy and directing it in a way that is way more productive and it's more helpful. Right. And I think that's something maybe for you, I don't know, you probably are, but I'm just going to remind you that, sometimes instead of worrying about something, look at sending sending love or sending good vibes or good intentions, blessings and gratitude. Yeah. That's good because that's way more productive.
Of course.
Let's see what we've got here for Barbara. Sorry?
A move of apartment.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. What was that?
Oh, a move, like for a different location of an apartment.
You wanting to move?
Yes.
Okay, let's just see what's here. Let's have a look here. Grandkids and Barbara. Let's see what the messages are here. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting before I even tune in is I'm getting the word focus. You need to, that's probably why I said focusing on or sending good energy. It's focusing on outcomes that you really want, focusing on the pathway and not on the issues or the problems. Very important. It does take a little bit of mindfulness, but it's worth it because we start to see the magic when we start to really focus on what we want or how we want things to be. So let's see what's here for Barbara.
Okay.
Okay, the first one I'm getting is awakening. So this is an uplift of energy. So this is about the more you feel better in yourself and about your family, the easier it is for them to receive that energy and feel better in themselves. So it's a win-win for everyone. So there's an awakening process going on for you. And as I said, it's more to do with how your thinking needs to up level a little bit. So, and I'm not saying you're a negative person, it's just more positive.
I'm not.
The world needs more positivity. Let's see what else is here for Barbara for her grandkids. Just a quick call message for her grandkids. Are they all okay? Okay. So what I'm getting here is this point of balance. It's harmony. It's finding harmony. So it's harmony here when we look at balance is the mind and the heart, the thoughts and the emotions, finding harmony. Now, one of the things that's really important about balance is so many people get caught up in finding balance in their life, and it's another thing they have to do. It's like, oh, my balance is out. I've got to do something to come back into balance. I look more at, I prefer the word harmony. And when we find the harmony within ourselves, when we harmonize within ourselves, everything else starts to look a bit different. So instead of pushing to find balance, pause and ask, where's the harmony? Because the reality of life is we're going to be pulled in all sorts of different directions all the time, but we have to come back to ourselves. That's where the harmony lives. So when we look at I look at nature and I go, right, in the big scheme of life, our Earth does a 365-day spin around the sun. And there's only 2 days in those 365 that are devoted to balance. 2 days out of 365. They're the equinoxes. So that makes me look at where we have become a little bit too obsessed with finding balance all the time, when really we need to look at finding the point of harmony, because sometimes our life is busy and hectic and we are pulled in one direction because we have to get things done. And then we'll have time where we can pull back and pause and recover and regroup and reset. So if we can look at a bigger picture instead of the minute, got to find balance, which is a struggle, you step back and look at a bigger picture, you'll find that there's more harmony in the play of life and acceptance of how things are. And today I'm going to be really busy, and tomorrow I've got plenty of time to do what I want to do. There's harmony there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's what is there. And I'm just going to pull one more. So with your grandkids, it's the same thing. It's that don't let your thoughts take over. Come into your heart and send those feelings of, I trust that everything is well. I'm sending those intentions, that gratitude that they're all here. My grandchildren are here. I get to interact with them. I get to speak with them. I get to care and love them. So that's a really beautiful channeling of energy towards them. And it makes things a bit easier for all of us. We stop worrying, because at the end of the day, Barbara, every soul on the planet, every soul has their own soul journey. And those who have come in with issues or problems or challenges in their life, that's because their soul agreed to it. So their soul is actually on track. Their soul is doing or living or experiencing exactly what it needs for its growth and evolution. That's where the magic is. That's where acceptance is, when we look at what's going on with our children, our grandchildren, and as much as we may not like certain things that they're going through, it's exactly right for them, for their growth. It's exactly right. So that's when we find the harmony and we go, okay, I can just love and have gratitude and send blessings because they are on their journey. They have agreed to this. I don't understand why they're doing it, but that's what their soul has said. This is what I need in this human experience to learn more about myself so I can evolve. So that's how you can support our loved ones better, by really accepting I'm there to help and support. I also accept that this is the journey that you've chosen. It's a very esoteric, higher consciousness level and way of seeing things, but it gives us a little bit of wiggle room in being able to be supportive and helpful and not trying to go in and control. That's what we've got to do.
I don't go in and control, and I am supportive and helpful. But one of my grandsons is just totally disabled. He's bedridden, so I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, he didn't make it that way.
No, his soul. I'm saying soul level. Soul. Something. It could be a lesson for the family. It could be for the family to come together and be more of a unit, to be supportive and loving and present with him. I'm just going to pull one more for him. What's his first name?
Christopher.
Christopher. It's love. He's here to help everyone see and be more of love. All he needs is love. All you guys need to give him is love. That's all it is. That's all he's here for, is to experience love. And that's it. And the best way is how you're doing it. Support, acceptance, the way he is, being loved the way he is. That's it. That's all he's here for, is to experience love. That's it.
Yes, and he don't ask for anything but that in return. Yeah.
There you go. So that's it, Barbara. I hope that's helpful. Just keep loving him and loving yourself. That's it. That's all you have to do, because that's what he's here to receive, and that's what he's giving you all on an energetic level, because you come together to offer that to him. So there's a lot of love around. So that's a really good thing for all of you. That brings harmony. It's beautiful.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Sessions with Spirit with Gene Rose. Live from Facebook.com/Tarot Readings by Gene Rose. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Sessions with Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to the 27th episode of Sessions with Spirit. I am your host, Gene Rose, aka JJ. It is wonderful to have you all here this evening. Guys, if you are stateside, I would like to wish you a beautiful and wonderful happy 4th of July. I hope you all are having fun, but more importantly, staying safe. So guys, I figured we would open with a card for everyone. I don't like saying collective. To me, words like that just get a bit redundant after a while. So, like I said, so we can understand and realize, and don't forget tomorrow's a new moon. so we can understand and realize what energy we are exactly walking into the weekend with. I don't know about you, but as far as I go, that last full moon, I cannot. I cannot. Oh my gosh, it was intense. It was intense. The one thing I remember the most about it, though, was the morning after. I woke up with such a sense of relief. Now, I know this month we have the blessing moon. That I believe is on the, I was going to say 25th, no, 21st. So especially with that being on a Sunday, definitely take note of the phases this month. And the reason why I say that is because as we go into and approach that full moon, you really want to use this energy for things that are going to serve you. Don't allow the energy to work against you. I know that is difficult, especially when it is as overwhelming as it has been. It's been intense. It's been really intense. In fact, a few of my friends and I have been looking at each other and we've been like, is Mercury in retrograde? Because I cannot. But like I said, it makes sense, especially when we think of tomorrow being the new moon. Tonight, what I am going to have you all do is perhaps make a list of things that you want to usher in this month as a whole, especially with it being so close still to the first. There's still time for you to set goals. So do that, and that way you have an area of focus. So for everyone, the first card was the Six of Cups. That card is going to relate to childlike joy, really being in that space and embracing all of that beautiful energy. Think of a child at Disneyland or Disney World, okay? And I'm not talking about when a kid sees Santa and they break down and throw themselves on the floor. No. I'm talking about when they're like, Stitch. Yes, Ada, that was for you. And they throw their arms back and they are running towards them. That's the energy that I want you to walk into this weekend with. Really embracing the new moon. So embracing Friday, okay? Saturday, Sunday, the whole kit and caboodle, okay? There's going to be a lot of progress that is made this weekend. The second card was Chariot. That card is all about movement. It's all about progress moving forward. I don't want to say that fast forward because I think things are going to happen in due timing. But I definitely think that there are some ways that we can relate to that success and help to usher it in. You know, think and be in that leadership position. That final card was the Emperor. That card is all about jumping in the driver's seat, you know, being that leader. But it's also a success card. You know, 4 is the power number. Think of 4 sides of a square. It represents foundation. So definitely stand solid as we approach this new moon. Guys, we have a couple of followers requests that we're going to be doing this evening, as well as a couple of callers. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I am going to apologize ahead of time for my voice. I have been doing my best all day, drinking tea and having honey to just coat it so I don't sound as harsh and as raspy. Yes, it has been a challenge the last few days, but we have prayed to the voice gods and it seems like we are all set. We're good. So fingers crossed it continues throughout the half hour. Let's take a caller, shall we? Up we have Tish. Tish, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, love. Thank you so much for asking. What are we reading on tonight?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, you're fine, love. I said, what are we reading on this evening? What would you like a reading on?
I was wondering if there's any messages from my husband.
If there's any what with your husband? I'm sorry.
Messages. He passed. It'll be almost a year coming up.
Okay, my love. My condolences, of course, for your loss. I'm going to do a little bit of automatic writing. Usually I just jump straight to dealing with spirit and to talking to spirit. Or for you, for some reason, I feel like you would do better if you actually saw it. And whether you are listening or watching to me right now, it doesn't matter. If you go back on my page, Tarot Readings by Jean Rose, and you follow me. And love, I'm not doing this, Tish, for a follow. Okay? I'm going to be holding up my notepad. Yes, I'm going to be holding up my notebook as I write. So you'll be able to see what I am writing. That's why. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can watch the episode over again, and you'll see exactly what it is that I'm scribbling down. First things first, he keeps drawing me to calla lilies. I don't know where those come into play. I don't know if those were at your wedding or at his funeral, but he keeps drawing me to those. Is that like a favorite flower of yours?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want them? Like, where did the white ones come into play, love?
The flowers?
Yes.
They came, a lot of the flowers came from me and my family.
Okay. Yes, because I feel like a deep connection. Do you still wear your ring?
Yes.
Okay. He says thank you for that. He does show me, but have people told you to like wear it or change it? Why do I see it being melted? Has someone been in your ear about like melting it down or turning it into another piece of jewelry?
Like a necklace, wear it on my necklace.
Okay. He said you have his blessing if you wish to do that. If you wish, I feel like there's part of you that you feel like he's connected to that ring. And even as a necklace, even though it would still be the same gold, it's like, no, it's not the same. It's not the same. It won't have, and he understands that. So he has peace with whatever you choose. If you want it as a necklace, he gives you his blessing. If you want to keep it as your ring, he absolutely loves you for it. Loves you for it. He says, thank you. He does show me white roses that is going to symbolize him being at peace. And then he extends the bouquet. And that is going to signify him saying thank you.
Okay.
Did you do something special at his funeral? I don't know if you did the eulogy.
Yes.
Okay.
I read a very emotional letter.
He knows how hard that was for you. That nearly broke you.
Yes.
He says thank you for those words. That meant the absolute world to him. The send-off you gave him was absolutely incredible. He calls it exquisite. And that, I take it, was not a word that he would generally use. But he's like, no, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Like,
I spent $1,000 on roses and baby breath flowers.
Oh my God, look, grand. Like a wedding. It was like above and beyond. Like, he can't believe. He's like, do you know what she did for me? And he gushes over it. Just everywhere. Everywhere. Why do I feel like when you walked in the room, all you smelled was flowers? That's it. That is it. There's nothing else. It smelled almost like a florist. I don't know if several people said, were people making comments about it? He's like, everybody was joking. He's like, I had more flowers at my funeral than a wedding. Like, he's like, yeah, because that was my funeral. He can't believe it. He cannot believe it. He goes, it was gorgeous, JJ. It was gorgeous. He's like, you should have seen it.
He deserved it.
And he loves you for that love. He cannot thank you enough. Like I said, and I keep seeing the word grand. It was like grand, just massive. Yes, grand. And that's just one thing that he wants you to know. So even with all the sleepless nights, with how hard it has been without him, He wants, and you talk to him at night. You talk to him throughout the entire day, but specifically at night. Why does he show me you turning over to his side of the bed and you starting to, like, you talk, and then you're like, oh, you're not here. You can't hear me. And then you stop.
I talk to him all day long. Driving in the car, I look up at the sky. I talk to him all day long in the house, in the bed. I look at his ashes and talk to him.
Yes. Till he hears you. And when you speak to him, I mean, he's listening. He's listening. Have you had certain things happen in the house? Like little things where you're like, no, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I haven't been sleeping. I'm seeing things, but you're not. He's like, no. He's like, it's me. Does that make sense?
Okay. There was a red cardinal, there was a red cardinal. It flew on the branch 4 feet from my head and just stayed there for a while looking at me.
That was him. And then what happened with this song, with the radio?
The song, the radio, oh my God.
Yeah, I just wrote that down. Love song.
I keep asking him to play our favorite song or a song that I love that he knows I want to hear. I said, before I get home from work, I want to hear it. And as soon as I pull into, he plays it.
I mean, I don't say this lightly, and I hope with all the evidence I've given you thus far, you know that he's with you. I do. I truly do. I hope that you know that he's with you.
I do. I'm just glad he's with his mom and dad.
Yes. And grandparents, too. Mm-hmm. Yes. He's not alone by any means. He is with his family, but he's waiting for you. So please just know that and take that with you from here on out.
I appreciate you. You're spot on everything you're saying.
Oh, love, you're so welcome. It was absolutely my pleasure. It was my honor to be able to channel him. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this for you. And like I said, make sure you follow me on Facebook. That way you can see me scribbling down those words, because I wrote the word song down. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I definitely will.
Well, Tish, you take care. You have a beautiful night, and I definitely look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. This meant so much to me. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You have a beautiful night, and happy 4th. Happy 4th.
You too. Happy 4th. Have a good night.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Up next, we have Heidi. Heidi, how are you this evening?
I'm good.
I am so glad to hear that, love. How's your 4th?
Oh, it's been pretty thoughtful. Just stayed home, went out to lunch with my husband, and not doing anything really.
Oh, okay. I know, a nice quiet night at home. What are we reading on tonight, love?
Yeah. Say that again, I'm sorry?
What are we reading on tonight? I'm so sorry. I'm from New York. I have the worst accent. No offense to my New Yorkers, but I literally feel like either you understand what I'm saying or you don't. Even my wife will be like, what did you say? And I'll repeat it. And she'll be like, no, say it slower. And I say it slower and she'll be like, all right, spell it. And I'm like, oh my God. You don't know we've been together 10 years. You don't know what I'm saying? I forget we talk fast. So yes.
You too.
So, like I was saying, what would you like to be read on tonight?
Oh, goodness. I've had so much happening in my life. I just want to know if things are going to get better.
Okay. I can totally do that. Absolutely. In fact, that is one of my favorite readings. Reason being is I will pull cards in a general sense. That is going to allow anything and everything to come up in the cards that not only you need to know right now, but also that you need to know in the future.
Okay.
Why do I feel like everything is falling apart, but at the same time you're getting pulled in like 8 or 9 different directions?
Because I am.
It's overwhelming to you, and I kind of feel like I can't catch my breath. And every time you do catch your breath, boom, someone comes up or pops up with another freaking problem. Oh my gosh. Love, no wonder you are so overwhelmed. You're not catching any breaks. That can be really tough to deal with, you know, especially when it's not.
I have a hard time saying no.
I noticed that you are a little bit of a people pleaser, which is okay. But you did receive the 9 of Cups. That is going to be a card about overdoing or overthinking something. Not only are you a people pleaser, you also have anxiety. No shade to you. I also have anxiety, so I totally get. Oh, love, you are in the right hands. Trust me when I say that. Because then what happens is if you say no, then forever and a day will you sit there and stress over saying no. And then what are they going to say about me? What are they going to think about me? Are they mad at me? Are they this? Are they that? It turns into you going down the rabbit hole. Am I right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So I totally get it. The Hangman was your first card that's going to refer to you being stuck in a limbo. Okay. So really having kind of that feeling like, and that not as bad as like the Tower. Not to say that the Tower is a bad card. It's not. It's not. It just refers to things falling apart. But sometimes they need to fall apart in order to come back together in a bigger and better way. This card is just going to refer to being in limbo. But again, it points to a transition. So does that limbo worry me? Absolutely not. Especially when it's followed by the 7 of Wands. That's a card that's going to represent a hard-fought victory. I also want to point something out. The wand suit corresponds to the element of fire. The fire energy is going to be all about resiliency. It's also going to be about passion, creativity, fortitude, strength, courage, bravery, you name it. Being pushed outside your comfort zone. Realizing not only that you can do it, but also that it's going to be the beginning of something new. And I want to say, don't laugh. Don't laugh. But I want to say something enchanting. I don't know where that word just came from, but it just dropped on me like a bomb. I feel like if you continue on this path, and I'm not saying the one of, dare I say, self-destruction, okay? Because there is a bit that you can control that you keep entertaining. There is part of you that just needs to get off the hamster wheel. You got to learn to start saying no. I promise you, you and I will even do it together, okay? We'll hold each other accountable. Seriously.
Okay.
But with that, you have to know and understand that in moving forward, you have to make the choice. Are you going to make yourself a priority, or are you going to keep making others a priority? Is your happiness your priority, or is it going to be to constantly make sure others are happy? The third card was a page. Pages refer to the start or beginning of something new. The cup suit is going to be that emotion suit. So that's why I said, don't worry about it. There's happiness ahead. You are going to get through this. I think what's going to happen is you're getting pushed into the point or in the position to where you can't take it anymore, and you get so fed up that you stop people pleasing and you quit saying yes all the time, and you start learning how to set those boundaries. That way you can put your foot down and actually stick with it and not go back and forth or feel bad. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much.
The fourth card was that 9 of Cups, like I said before, that overthinking, overdoing. You know what? When you put it out there that you need help, people are going to answer. Same thing reversed. If people, they need help or whatever, once in a while, that is fine. But when it becomes a habitual thing that happens over and over and over, and you are overextending yourself to the point where you are not only making yourself last priority, but you're not even on the list anymore. Honey, you're on the napkin that was thrown away. You got to change that. And you got to instead put yourself first. What do they always say on a plane? Put your mask on first before you help another person, right? They do. That's what they say. Because if you're not at your best, How are you going to help someone out? I just pulled an extra card for you. Oh my God, you got the star. The star card is going to refer to a hope, wish, or dream coming true. The reading just took a turn. Yes, it just took a massive turn. I'm so happy for you. I feel like, especially with this new moon, new energy is going to be ushered in. Just remember what I said about setting those important boundaries. Okay?
Yes.
Don't.
I've actually just this week I've withdrawn, and I have not helped. I know it sounds terrible, but I've not. I basically told all my children I'm taking a hiatus.
I am so proud of you.
That I have 12 grandkids, and I'm very bonded to most of them. But my daughter just had twins on the first, and it was her second set of twins. She does everything in twos. Her birthday's on October 2nd.
That is beautiful. Oh, but I can only imagine. Oh my goodness, second set of twins. Ooh.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So,
that is beautiful.
Anyways, I, got into a situation emotionally, and I basically just emotionally vomited all over everybody. And I had to step back. And because I handled it poorly, I've been beating myself up and have had just so much anxiety. And for the first time in a very, very decades, I've went and got help.
Good for you.
Because I thought I was losing my mind.
Yes, love. Hell yeah. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you. Do you know that? That takes a lot.
Thank you.
That takes
it was hard for
you
me.
did it. Yes, Queen. Hell yes. I am so proud. That is amazing. And 12 grandkids, that is a lot. Okay? You're not the bad guy for needing a break. And it's okay if you, as you call it, I love it, emotionally vomited. I love you, Heidi. Oh my God. It is totally fine. Not for nothing. I'm a mom too. It is fine. We're allowed to have those moments. We are human. We are not perfect. As much as they like to look at us that way, we are not. And I'm sorry, but if mama ain't happy, nobody is happy. And whether you are mom or mom, and as we say in Italian, nonna, when you're playing both those roles, it's nonstop. Nonstop. Because you're answering their questions for them being a new parent. You're tending to the grandchildren. You're tending to them. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing everything. You feel like you can't sit down because you go into mama bear mode all over again. I get it. I totally get it. But it's okay for you to take that time for you. That star card, everything is going to work out.
Totally understanding. She just basically was like, Mom, we all have emotional explosions, and we all have times like that where I thought she was never going to forgive me and never let me see the grandkids again. It was just the opposite. Totally understanding, which
Heidi, you're her mom. You're her mom. Love, no, never are you. No, the bond that you have with your daughter, she looks up to you and she respects you a lot. A lot. She has great love for you. And not for nothing, I don't think she'd be able to handle the family that she has today if it weren't for you. If you weren't her mom. You've taught her so much. That grace, where did she get that from? You. You taught her that. So that is definitely something that you should give yourself a pat on the back for. Don't overthink it anymore. It is perfectly fine. We all have those moments. I'm not trying to play it down and be like, oh, it's fine. It's okay. Because I get how it's stressful. and how you would overthink it. Because anytime we think that we hurt our children, it's like, oh my gosh, like we can't, right? But I'm telling you, they look at you with nothing but love. Oh, love, you're so welcome. I would love to keep in touch with you, especially in terms of all these grandbabies. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is fantastic. Second set of twins. Oh my gosh. Heidi, I definitely hope that this helps you. I really do, my love.
Yes, very much. It's been very validating. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You have a beautiful night and happy 4th of July.
Thank you. Thanks to you. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Lovelies, well, that is almost bringing us to a close. Those were some amazing readings tonight. I always love when I get to do mediumship. Last week it was very special as it was tonight. Definitely happy that I was able to give that reading and give those messages. I know it gets me in my feels, and I'm trying not to get choked up. Guys, if you like my style of reading, definitely check me out at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. You can find me on Facebook, or you can find me on TikTok or Instagram. Follow me at Tarot by Jean Rose. Remember, I am available for private sessions and appointments. Contact me below and book your session today. You guys have a beautiful and safe 4th of July. I love you all. Until next week. See you guys soon.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyons.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is New York City Celebrity Psychic on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Oh my gosh, my producer just revealed he's Batman and I have no idea what to do now. Hi, I'm Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic. I'm not wearing sunglasses because I'm celebrity, although I play one on TV. But because I was kayaking today and I flew into a bee, which being psychic, I knew was going to happen. Sadly, the bee did not. Anyway, welcome to the show. This is Perry Lyons. You're watching Moonstruck TV and listening to A1R Psychic Radio. We are the biggest metaphysical network in the world, possibly in any world. We're still working on finding that out. But I think I'll take these out. But just be warned, one of my eyes is going to look bigger than the other. Okay. Now that you've calmed down. So we're about to do, but by we, I mean me. I'm very glad you're here, by the way. And some shout outs to some of our regulars. I just wanted to say to my friend Jennifer, welcome to the world, to Ilya, her beautiful grandson. I wanted to say happy birthday to my sister, who's not only a regular, but my sister, Tony, who just had a birthday. And happy anniversary to my brother David and his beautiful wife Amanda. He's American, she's British, and they were married on the 4th of July. So I'm a little early, but it's already the 4th of July over there. And to all my new listeners and watchers, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have a lot of fun and accuracy and love and charm and who knows, possibly pixies together. There's a reason I say possibly pixies. Before I get to the psychic weather, I do the psychic tarot weather every week. It's only 3 cards. Doesn't take that long, and it's just like regular weather, except less damaging to crops. Okay. I just wanted to tell you this story that happened last week. It was Midsummer Eve, and week before last. And I decided, I don't have enough to do with pixies. That's my problem. My problem is I'm not interacting enough with the elementals who live in the woods, and I'd like to have them come and live at the bottom of my garden. I have fairies at the bottom of my garden. So I don't know. I'd had a little celebratory champagne with my next door neighbors. Who knows why I did this, but I went into the woods behind my little house and I sang songs to the pixies, the dryads, the naiads, the nymphs. There's wimps? There's no such thing as a wimp. It's like a nymph, except it's much wimpier. So I went out and sat them a song. Come to my house, come live in my garden, come play, come be my friend. I sort of sound a little like a soppier, very, very oriented version of Mr. Rogers. And that's a straight liner. I want you to just ignore it. Okay. So I went out and I sang to the pixies and I made a little pixie, like, welcome to my garden. I love my garden. If you have a garden, you know what I'm talking about. You get addicted. Even when you realize that most flowers are thugs. My morning glories are currently out there mugging my cantaloupe in order to get like protection compost. It's not pretty, but it is pretty. So where were we? So I sang to the pixies, and then I made in this little sort of pixie shrine. Not a shrine to pixies, a shrine for pixies. I put a lot of hi, Doug in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'll be with you in 3 minutes. I'm going to finish the pixie story and do the psychic tarot weather. While I'm doing that, what I'd like you to do is to take a deep breath and let it out through your mouth like this, like you're either being very rude or blowing out a birthday candle or both. And do that a couple of times until we talk. I want you to calm down your vagus nervous system, not VEGAS. That's the vagus nervous system, which is a nervous system that enables you to wake up in a city in Nevada with a bunch of sex workers and 10 years of your life's gone. But let's get back to what I was saying. I went out and sang to the pixies. I made a little shrine for the pixies with pretty shiny things. I put out a little tiny martini because I had some gin in the house. And I did that 3 nights in a row. And the morning after the third night, you do the math, I woke up and not only was the little fairy martini gone, as it had been every morning when I checked, there was a 1.5 foot long red and white hawk feather laid right across the shrine, which, believe me, none of my neighbors would do. Trust me on this. This is my place in Maryland, not my place in New York. And it might as well have had the words, "Thank you for your business," engraved on it. It was a thank you note from the fairies. And I thought, oh, how wonderful. And then the next 2 nights, I ran out of gin. Don't ask why. No, I'm not a 19th century prostitute in London, which is what I think of when I think of gin. Let's just leave that whole road gone down. Anyway, so I went out the third night after I'd forgotten to put out the pixie martinis, and the feather was gone. They'd taken back the bloody feather. So, and just for future reference, if you're on a date and you say, I have to be home before midnight because I have to put out martinis for the pixies, it's not a good look. Just trust me on this one. Okay, we're going to do thank you for listening. This has been the Perry Lyons show right before she was committed. Okay. The first card is a Princess of Wands card. I use cards from all different packs. I'm not one of those people who sleeps with their little tarot deck, in a little silk pouch under their pillow, because I just throw all of my tarot cards in one big glamorous bucket. So this is the first one, which looks a little slightly soft porny, if you ask me, but you didn't. The Princess of Wands. I think if you're a woman and you're watching this, or if you're a man and you're watching this, you're going to activate a very vital sort of young girl part of yourself. If you're a woman, that means you might be feeling a kind of aliveness, a kind of freshness, a kind of libido-ness that you haven't felt for a long time. You're going to feel more creative and outgoing. If you're a man, same thing. Also, if you're non-binary, the world is your oyster, basically. So this can also mean that somebody in your life, a younger woman, possibly even a child, but probably a younger woman, is going to be showing up and bringing you some joy. Who knows? I do. That's why I'm here. Okay, another slightly soft porn card. This card is the angel. It's Isabella, the angel of timing. And if you didn't know there's an angel of timing who looks like a centerfold, now you do. Okay. Isabella, the angel of timing, is saying this is exactly the right time to begin that project. I don't know about you, but I really needed to see and hear this card today. She says the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. And I'm going to add to this, do the work. Don't be a wanker. Do the work. Okay, last card is, this is a really interesting card, especially for those of us who are back in the dating scene again, she says, playing provocatively with her hair. Doug, don't go away. I'm almost there for you. Doug, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Bless you, my child. Almost done. I love you, Doug. You're awesome. Okay. I love Canadians. All my best friends in New York are Canadian, except for the one who lives in Mexico. Anyway, so the last card, and this is the beginning of this week, middle of this week, end of this week. So this is next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The King of Cups is somebody with either, if you're a guy, it means that you're thinking about somebody romantically, possibly somebody from your past. If you're a woman, somebody from your past is going to be showing up. He might be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Or he might also be, if he's not any of those, he might be an artist of some kind or a writer or a musician, all of which case, just run like hell. Just trust me. This is 20 years of, anyway, no. If he's a writer or an artist or musician, that's wonderful. And if you're a man, if you're non-binary, all of this applies to you. I've got to go non-binary. It's the way, man. However, this card means if you're a woman, somebody from your past is coming back romantically into your life, possibly a little unexpectedly. If you're a man, you are suddenly feeling unexpectedly romantic about somebody from your past. She might be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And now we're done. That was it. I love doing that. It's so much fun. Doug, thank you for waiting. Yes, you rule. How are you?
Good.
Doug, oh, good. I like to connect to people through their birthdays. I'm so glad you showed up. You've got such a nice energy. So tell me what day your birthday is, and then tell me your question.
April 26, 1961.
Oh, so you have the same birthday as, different year, but same birthday as Jemima Kirk, who is the star of that show Girls. She was the gorgeous British one. I love Taurus. Oh, Taurus men. Ooh. Hubba hubba. And how can so you're also year of the cat. No, I'm sorry, you're year of the ox. So you're probably pretty successful. So how can I help you, my love?
Well, I'm just curious if I've decided that maybe I'll stay single. I'm not sure if I'll be into a relationship with anybody ever again. I do have a lot of surroundings, people, followers and stuff, but the fact remains is I'm quite happy the way I am. And do I want to stain that with bringing somebody else in or ruin their life type thing?
Well, ideally, everybody brings baggage to a relationship, right? And you either trip over each other's baggage or you help each other unpack in a careful and loving way, right?
Yeah.
Before I say the next thing, I'm going to tell you that one of the happiest couples I ever met, I was at this party and this couple was there and they radiated love, joy, happiness, compatibility. They just radiated it. It was frankly a little annoying for those of us who were single at the time. And I finally said, I know there's a backstory here. What's your story? Because you guys, how long have you been married? Because they were both Marines. So they said 8 years. I'm like, and this is still going on? What's wrong with you? And they said, no. The day before we met each other, we each sort of said, okay, you know what? I'm single. I'm not meeting the right person. Maybe I'll never meet the right person. Maybe I love my life exactly the way it is. And maybe I'm okay with that. The next day, and they'd each done this separately without knowing each other. The next day they met each other. I think what you're saying right now, the reason I'm getting retold this story by my guides is because you are going to meet somebody. It's not going to be till next year. You might bump into them at a cocktail party or something around the holidays, but I don't think you'll meet him, her, or they, or them until January or February of next year. And I think at that point, you'll have decided, I love my life. I love being single. And then this person will come along and you add so much fun and joy and inspiration to each other's lives that it's not a like, oh my God, do I have to spend the rest of my life picking up this person's socks kind of thing. It's more it's a joy and a privilege and an honor to spend time with this person. Maybe I want to, you know, what's that thing from an old Mel Brooks comedy routine where he was a caveman and the interviewer asked him about caveman marriage. He said, well, marriage was really simple. You both climbed up and you sat back to back with each other on top of a high mountain and you both looked out for saber-toothed tigers on your sides. And you got married when the woman said, how long do you want to do this for? And the guy said, forever. And then you were married. So what I'm saying is, I think you have very high standards. And I think you should. You deserve high standards. You also want a conversational companion because you're smart. You're not just smart. You're pretty intellectual. You want somebody you can have civil discourse about politics with. You want somebody you can tell dumb jokes with. And you're also a catch. From where I'm sitting, you are a catch. And I'm sitting in what seems to be the Sistine Chapel, so that's pretty high praise indeed. Does that help at all? So what I'm saying is, I think you'll be single for a little while longer. I think it's sort of part of the plan for you that at the minute that all neediness of any kind is like whoop, tweaked out of you, is the moment that somebody's going to come up and say, hi, Doug. Maybe they'll use the other shoulder. Hi, Doug, like that. I don't know if you're watching or listening, but I was doing a cute shoulder thing for you. Does that help?
Yeah.
Am I talking too much?
Oh, yeah. No, you're doing great.
Thanks. Well, you're a lot of fun to read for. You've got great energy. And as I said, whoo, Taurus man.
Yeah. I don't know where I can throw in some information, but you're doing awesome.
Thank you. Feel free to throw some now. I've got 3 more minutes to my next caller, and I'm all yours until then. Body and soul.
I was married with a woman for 37 years.
Yeah.
She died in front of me at 36 years, and I got her back to breathing and got her back to living and got her to the hospital. And she was never the same again. She was never the same again. She didn't remember any of our life. So I spent the next 7 years alone, and I'm all right with it. But I moved, and I'm starting a fresh life out, stuff like that. And I paint and I write. That's all I do now. Because I got MS.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I write. I paint, but you don't want to see what I paint. So I think in the Psychic Tarot weather that I just did, the last card was a man who is artistically inclined, who is going to unexpectedly find a romantic partner. I think that's you. I'm not sure it's going to be this week, but I think that was about you. I really do. I'm not just whistling. I'm not kidding, basically.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah, and I think you're also, you know a lot about poetry. You know a lot about art. Wish you lived closer, dude. But you're a catch. And there is a woman out there who is age appropriate. It shouldn't have to be. You do what the hell you want. If it's a woman, I'm going to guess women are your thing. And I think she's smart. She's been a little beaten down, but she's still got a glow and an inner fire that is going to attract you. And she's just you guys are going to recognize each other. I can almost, if I was God, I'd have better shoes, but I can almost guarantee that. I really can. So have a great time being yourself, and then just keep your eyes open around the holidays. Who knows? Maybe even tomorrow. Okay, my love? Does that help?
Yeah,
I'm so glad you called. Thank you. Yay. All right, sweetie, I've got another caller waiting, but I'm so glad you called. And you're a cat. She's a lucky girl.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Yeah, take care, bye.
I get the best people here. I really do. They're so good that I'm going to put my sunglasses on again. There. No, that looks really goofy. Okay. All right. Who is our next caller? And Haley, I love that name. Haley, you're calling from Alabama, right?
Yes.
Hi, Haley. It's nice to meet you. When's your birthday?
September 10th.
of September or December?
September.
Oh, you're Virgo. We're opposites. I love Virgos. Virgos are the most misunderstood. I do. They're the most misunderstood sign. People think you guys are about like having obsessive compulsive disorder. Totally not. You guys are about like taking beautiful ideals and bringing them into reality. You guys are about purity and idealism. Doesn't make for an easy life, but makes you very nice to be around. How can I help you today, my angel?
Well, I really don't know. I'm new to this whole thing, so I was really just looking for like a general reading, I guess.
Okay. Great, baby. Let me see what I can do. Do you mind telling me what year you were born? You don't have to.
What year was I born? 92.
Oh, you're just a baby. I have shoes older than you. Please. Well, it makes sense. There's been a lot. Woo! This is almost the first time in your life you've had a chance to take a deep breath, look around, and see what your actual dreams are. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's confusing because sometimes when we have too much freedom, it's like, now what? Which I think is kind of where you are to a certain extent. And I think that you're very good with, it's funny, you're very shy and you're very good with people. How does that work? Is that true? Feels true.
I haven't quite figured that one out myself yet.
Okay, but I'm on the right track here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You also, I think, recently lost a loved one, and I'm sorry. I really am.
Yes.
The last 3 years, but it was somebody really close, and I'm sorry. And I think that really knocked you for a loop. Much, grief sneaks up on us at weird times. I think you're just getting out of the grief cycle, to be honest with you. Is that true?
Some days are a lot better than others.
Yeah. But I'm very sorry for your loss. I really am. I hate it when people say that because it's such a cliche. But I'll tell you what you'd be really good at. You're good with people and you're good at managing people because you're good at managing people without them catching on that they're being managed. Is that correct? Have you had like boss jobs before? Or admin jobs? Yeah.
Yes.
You're really good with people. I think you should be in HR. I think that's if you want to take classes at night for your other talents, can you sing or are you just musical?
I can't sing, but I love to sing. It's kind of like my therapy.
Yeah, that's what that's kind of, I couldn't actually say, can you sing, but you don't think you're good enough at it? Because my guides are like, they don't like it when I say stuff like that. Excuse me. So, I love singing for you. I would love you to look in human resources. I think that is for you to have a solid job for a while. And I think you have one now, but I don't think it's doing anything for you. And you need a creative outlet. Singing is great for you. It's also actually very good for sort of aligning oneself. I do it. I sing all the time. Admittedly, my neighbors have gotten up a petition to stop that. But I was a professional singer for 20 years. Actually, I'm about to be again. Well, we've got about 5 minutes, so we can look a little more into this. What's a question that you would just, without thinking, ask me any question off the top of your head, but don't think about it. No calculus.
Does it have to involve me? Or can it involve my kids?
Oh, of course it can involve your kids. You got 3 of them?
I have 2.
You're going to have a third. Not today, not tomorrow, but you got a third one circling you. And they're really cute. They're really young. They're so cute.
No.
One is like 1.5 and one is 4 or 5.
I've got a 3-year-old and not a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old.
I should have gone with my gut instinct. Maybe it's because I heard a baby in the background. But, they're cute.
I guess my question would be, does their health improve?
Yeah, but they need a different environment. Have they both got asthma?
Yes.
Yeah.
My daughter.
Yeah. And your son has some breathing difficulties. They're so cute. I think that there's some mold in your house. Save up a tiny bit of money, not that much. Get somebody in to look at your air system, because I think that's part of the problem. I can't give medical advice on the show because it's illegal. And although I'd like to meet a good-looking law enforcement officer, I don't want it to be while he's arresting me. Although if that's the only way, I'm going to go rob the 7-Eleven. Anyway, but the short answer I can give you is yes. I would also, the other thing I do is, your insurance does cover getting a second opinion. I would get a second opinion in both children. I'm a doctor's daughter. First thing he would always tell me if I got a diagnosis that I was like, really? He was like, get a second opinion. Get a second opinion. I want you to take them both to see 2 more doctors, if that's okay. Or 1 more doctor, whatever the pediatrician is you see. I think that's great. But err on the side of safety and take them both to see another pediatrician as well. Get a second opinion. Got another question?
Okay.
And your boy is very sensitive as well as being delicate. That's the other thing I'll say. He's a very sensitive person. Does he have a lot of allergies? Allergies to things?
He's got just seasonal allergies.
Yeah. Tell him I feel for him. But he's a very your daughter's more of a go-getter. Your son is a little more reserved and sensitive, quieter. Is that correct?
Very much so.
Yeah, very much so.
My daughter, I feel like, is going to be the one that makes me bald.
I was going to say takes over the world, but makes you bald. Let's hope that doesn't happen, because what I sense is you're very cute, and I think you've got great hair. So let's have you keep it. Our hair is important. All right, darling. The other thing, boy, your daughter's a hellraiser. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. No offense, but I'm glad she's not my kid, because all you do all day is run around after her, going, put them down, pick that up, stop that, don't do that, do that, help, police, fire. She's very smart. Both of your kids are great. You got some smart kids there. I hope that somebody in your school system is noticing that you have gifted children, because you got some gifted children there.
That's good to know. I'm about to actually enroll them back into public school, so
make sure that they're in the AP program or the gifted program. Your daughter's going to test very high. One of them is going to test very high verbally, and one of them is going to test very high in math and science. I'm not sure which is which, but I think your daughter is the one. I'm not sure which is which, but have them tested. I think it's free. Get them into the gifted program, and they're going to be fine. Just get a second opinion. Okay, my love? It's the end of the show, so okay. I got to go, but I'm very, very, very glad I met you.
Mom,
and I want your kids to be great, so they'll be in my prayers, basically, whatever those are.
Thank you.
Take care, dear. Good night, everybody. I'm Perry Lyons. Oh, what were you going to say? What, dear? Oops. Okay. I'm Perry Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic. I'm on Moonstruck TV. If you're watching, that's where we are. Hello. Hello. I can see you. I can see you. Or if you're listening, we're on A1R radio. And I'm here every Wednesday live, which certainly beats the alternative, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love my cherished ducklings. Come back soon.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Hallie Elise Show with Hallie Elise. Hallie Elise. Live from HallieElise.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Hallie Elise Show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. As always, I am delighted and excited to be here this evening. So funny. We live in such a weird world. I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, and normally it's sunny. People come from other places to be here to enjoy warm weather. Not in rainy season. However, rainy season has descended upon us early. We have flooding in places we shouldn't have flooding, not flooding. My poor mom got stuck and had to be rescued. Can you imagine? But we just never know. Matter of fact, if I go back many years, back to around 1999, the home that I was in was flooded so badly that it compromised the foundation and we had to leave. However, thankfully, I actually listened to my own inner guidance and higher guidance when it's given. The night before it all happened, I heard, get the kid, get the animals, get out. And I thought, what? What are you talking about? However, even though I had questioned it, I called up a friend who lived about 45 minutes north and said, hi, do you mind if we all come crash at your place? And she, of course, said, sure, come on, not a problem. Good thing, because had we not left, we would not have been able to get out. And I am not exaggerating when I say that I went back and the water was thigh high. Can you imagine? Thigh high water. When it finally decided to recede, it was just a very interesting experience. FEMA had to come in to evaluate my place. It was pretty wild. What can I tell you? Life happens. The point is, you just never know what to expect, even when you know what to expect. Meaning, you can have a reading and think, wow, this is awesome. However, in the midst of something, you can change your mind, or in the midst of something happens on the other side of the world that at that exact second influences you. This is why I always push, pay attention to your intuition as well. It is not just guidance from other people, but it's listening to yourself. And if you need help with that, that's one of my favorite things to do, to teach you, to assist, to help. All that said, I know we have Nell on the line, and I will be with her in just a moment. She's calling from Tennessee, but I do want to remember our sponsor. That's George Duback. He is the ultimate networker. And if you are connecting with us on Facebook, do look up George Duback, and that's D-U-B-E-C. He is also a phenomenal author. And if you are on Amazon, you can find a plethora of his books. But it'd be great if you connect with him on Facebook. He has connections all over, not just limited to Florida. Something else I'd like to share, which is really cool. I have a lovely friend who owns the Love and Healing Center. Yeah, Love and Healing. What a great name, right? That's in Delray, Florida. It's on the corner of Congress and Atlantic Avenue, and that is the, if I recall correctly, the southwest corner. Great little place to be in. She has this wonderful new system that is connected to a quantum scalar wavebed. So it is a vibro acoustic, let me see if I remember all this correctly, vibro acoustic sound quantum scalar wavebed. And if you're like, what on earth is all of that? Truly, if you are in Delray Beach, or Palm Beach County or Broward County, it's not that far, you'd like to experience it. You actually are immersed in beautiful wavelengths that create a sense of peace, a sense of equilibrium, a sense of loveliness inside. And the bed, and I am going to call it a bed, versus one of those hard things that you get a massage on, the table. this is fabulous. It's cushy and yet supportive. It kind of comes up, it comes down. It's a fabulous experience. Take a look at Love and Healing Energy. She does have a presence on Facebook. You can find her again at the southwest corner of Congress and Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. And tell Michelle Hallie said hi, because I don't get over there very often. Today was an exception. All right, then we have, I believe, lovely Belle from, oh my gosh, Tennessee. Yes? Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I think we have a little delay as we're talking. Did you have a particular area of focus for this evening, or did you want me to just share whatever comes through?
Yeah, whatever comes through would be great, please. My highest and greatest good. I would appreciate that.
Okay, you got it. I love your accent, by the way.
Thank you.
One of the things that comes in right off the bat is you yourself are very connected. You could actually give me a reading, though I don't think you have enough confidence all the time to be able to sit with people and just give information. But you definitely are tapped in, and oftentimes it keeps you out of trouble or keeps other people out of trouble. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. The one area that you don't always pay attention to that you probably should listen to a little more is matters of the heart.
Okay.
You are drawn to somebody because there's that intuitive nudge that brings you together with someone, whether it is that long-term relationship or it is just bringing somebody into your heart, like a best pal or best friend. However, sometimes because that intuitive nudge is so strong and you feel such a connection, the red flags that go up, you don't pay attention to. Now, the irony here is if you were seeing this happen for somebody you loved, right away you would recognize it and say, hey, did you notice this? Or you need to pay attention a little bit more to that. That said, I will just say to you, in this moment in time, there's a couple of things that need to be adjusted. If you allow yourself to ask, not me, but yourself, what do I need to do to really have the best relationships around me right now? You will get an immediate answer, because I feel like you're being pushed from the divine to tap in even more, enabling you to listen more frequently. And I want to say automatically, because I feel like it comes in spurts for you. And you do hear it and you do pay attention. And a lot of times you are just on automatic, not really paying attention to the fact that it's intuitive, but you just kind of follow it. Specifically in this time frame, we're in June. So June, July, August, I'm going to say entire summer, there is this sense of really paying attention to the loves in your life. So those are the people that you love. It's not just limited to romance, even though I started out with romance. Is in respect to romance specifically, I do get the feel that there's a couple of things that are about ready to get shaken up. And over the course of the summer, you'll find that there's a lot that is revealed to you. And when I say that, I know that sounds kind of cryptic and kind of abstract and really very general, and I apologize. However, I feel like it has more to do with the integrity of the person that you're dealing with than it is about like, oh, there's this dark secret somewhere. That's not what this is. It really is more about who they are and their integrity. And I feel it's going to be a wow. And I don't get it being a negative, but I do feel like it's something that you're going to say, why didn't I know this before? That said, just kind of pay attention, because it does feel as if this is something that you are going to be grateful that you know. During this time, though, around you, again, loves meaning family, people that you care for deeply. And sometimes we just love people that are around us, even though we're not really attached to them. And that could be somebody as simple as that great gal that you meet at the grocery store who's always smiling and always lovely. Pay attention, because this summer specifically, you are going to see much more than you have ever seen. I just got light bulbs going on for you all over the place. And when you're spending time with someone, you are going to find that you seem to know more then you think you should. Understand it's not a matter of that you should or should not. It's more a matter of it's the right time. You follow?
Yes, that makes so much sense. Thank you.
Okay, I'm so grateful that it makes sense, because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope the message is getting through. So it's really good.
Yes, it really did.
Okay, and I'm going to switch gears here for a moment and say, really be mindful of legs. I feel like above the knees, so it's not quite into the thigh, but just a little bit above the knee. Let's see, 1-2 inches above, and going down to about middle of the shin or middle of the calf, shin. Middle of the, yes, sorry, I'm trying to isolate this area. So it's not as far down as the ankle, not as far up as the thigh, but I'm going to say a little above your knee and down to about middle of shin. There's something going on there energetically, something going on there as far as circulatory. I would take a look at your actual circulatory system, meaning perhaps when you go to your regular checkup, you ask them to do a stress test. I know that sounds off the wall because I don't feel as if you've had anything to worry about, but I feel like I'm getting this so that it's preventative for you. Either that or really examine your diet right now, because it feels like something needs to be tweaked so that you can avoid a problem. The other thing that you could do, if you're open to it, is start massaging your legs from above the ankles and moving all the way up to where the thigh hits the hip. So it runs the gamut of the leg. It feels like that could be helpful, but you want to massage going from bottom up versus top down. And you want to be very gentle. Think of like almost a brushing type of feel, where you're moving very gently up the leg. Again, I feel like something going on there that this could be preventative in the long run. Hopefully this is helpful to you, because my heart tells me it's something to pay attention to, not something to worry about, but to pay attention to.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions by any chance?
I don't think so.
Okay. So thank you so much for calling. We actually have another gal on the phone. And again, I hope this is helpful to you, hon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You as well. Bye-bye. Now, if I read that correctly, that was Lisa from Saskatchewan. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. I always wonder, because I was like, ugh, it's stuck on my tongue. There's certain names that roll off very easy, and others, if you're not familiar with them, not so much.
Yeah.
Did you have a specific question or area of focus, Lisa, or did you want me to just kind of share whatever it is that kind of pops up here?
I lost my little dog.
Oh.
And I feel she's still alive, but I don't know where she could possibly be.
Okay, so what pops up immediately is that somebody took her into their house. And even if you have ID on her, it feels as if they like her. And I would be hard pushed to say that they will try to seek you out, which is very troubling, because, when you find a pup, the best thing you can do is put the word out there. But I feel like she is okay. I do feel that, like you, that she's still with us, but I feel like she is in somebody's house. Now, as far as where, I keep seeing in my mind's eye a steeple. Is there a church nearby that has a very tall steeple? I don't mean like 6 foot above the church, but I mean exceptionally tall that you know of?
Yes.
Okay. It is around that area. So like if I were facing the church, the feeling is, I'm getting chills. Okay, so I know I'm on target here. If I were facing the church, I would think in terms of walking towards the right. So whatever the community is towards the right and the back of the church, and it may not be directly behind it, but maybe there's a street there and then there's a community, but it feels like it's in that area. That's where your little child is, your four-legged child. Now, if you go knocking on doors, it might be helpful because, again, I feel like the people that have your little one would like to keep it. However, if you show up on somebody's doorstep, oftentimes they'll feel bad and they'll say, we're terribly sorry. We didn't know. I hear somebody else barking.
Yeah, I have a few little dogs. That's crazy.
Pardon? I'm sorry, Lisa.
I'm like kind of blown away because I live in a very small community, and it's very well known that I lost my dog.
But I found this to be true for myself many years ago. I had a kitty who started out as an outdoor kitty, but then became mine, right? And everybody knew that she was mine. And yet other people would take her into their house and feed her and let her stay overnight. And I would go out of my mind looking for her. Like, well, where could she possibly be? And like you, everybody kind of knew she was my kitty. Now, thankfully, she ended up being 19 years old with me and she moved with me. However, I did what I'm suggesting to you, which is to knock on some doors. I don't get that somebody's doing this out of meanness. I feel like they're doing it because they just find there's so much joy with this pup. I'm not saying that's a good excuse. I'm just simply saying sometimes people don't think beyond the moment. I don't get maliceness. I really don't. I just get, again, there's joy connected to your pup being around them and them wanting to keep your pup. So if you're inclined to knock at some doors or get a couple of friends to go with you and wander around in that area, you should find your pup.
Would it be out of town? Like, because I have looked, we have searched like everywhere. And I went to a neighbor's farm and I asked the wife if I could take a look around and she said yes. And then when he came home from work, he told me to very unkindly get off his property. And from the farm, you can see the church.
Say that again about the farm did you say it was right near the church?
No, you can see the church people from the farm.
Gotcha. So let's say the farm is here. I don't know, hopefully you can see me. And the church is here. Go behind the church. Whatever is in that area. There's some land and then there is a home behind, or there's a couple of homes in the area back there. But I just feel like, again, if you were facing the church, you would go around to the right and to the back. It's worth taking a ride and, again, knocking at some doors.
Right.
On a good note, don't get your baby hurt, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry you have to go through this. I'm an animal advocate and I make myself bananas when it comes to animals being kept from their owners or taken. And there's a lot of that. I mean, truly there is. And it's not, again, most of the time out of meanness. And most of the time it's because somebody's lonely or because in that moment, again, there's joy that's there. I'm not saying there's not the exception, because of course there is. There's people who are just not nice. I'm not getting that impression with the person or persons that have your dog.
Wow, that is not at all what I was expecting.
I'm sorry. And you know what else you could do? You could start putting flyers near the church. Because in most likelihood, since it's not far from the church, people would either go by the church or attend church. And that might be an easier way to have your pup come home. Maybe even have, whether it's a pastor or a minister, whoever is officiating the church, maybe have them say something during services. think in terms of making it as easy as possible for you to share information.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I wish I had more to give you than that, but that's what came up immediately. Like I said, I just saw this very tall steeple in my mind's eye there. I felt like that's going to be where the pup is, not actually at the church, but again, the area in the back and to the right. And just so you know, one other thing here, and that is I get birds around you. Now, I don't know if you have birds right now, but I get birds around you. So don't be surprised if in the near future you end up with a couple of birds that you're looking after as well. Usually when that pops up, it's like for people who wouldn't necessarily go and get the animals themselves, but somehow end up for them. I will say also, the pup who keeps barking, make sure you keep an eye on, what is it? It's the right hind leg. Get a little sensitivity there.
Oh,
not anything major, but just it's more like jumping and not paying attention to where they're jumping at. And it feels like it's not the knee or the ankle part, but higher up in almost like where the buttocks is, that there's a little sensitivity. So you may even notice, like if you're petting, if they flinch or they move a little different than normal, it's not anything to be concerned about. It's just they jumped funny.
Okay.
Okay. And if you're not already doing it, you might want to consider giving your pups a little bit of coconut oil or a very little bit of olive oil. It feels like it could help with joint health.
Okay.
Okay.
I used to do it. I don't do it anymore, though.
Okay. It might be something to get back to. I'm just getting the need for a little more flexibility. And it's simple enough to do.
And do I have my sister around me?
The feel here is she's not with you all the time, meaning I don't get her 24/7 hanging out. I feel like it's more once in a while checking in, like moving a drape back to take a peek and see how things are going. You know, it's a short visit that I get. I will tell you, though, if you want to communicate with your sister, it's really not that difficult. You can do it through dream time or you can do it through meditation. When it comes to dream time before you go to bed, you just ask that you are guided to connect with her during dreams. And if you do it through meditation, you go into meditation with the intention of seeing your sister and having a conversation with her. And you intend to do it in the most easiest of ways. For instance, if she used to love being on the water, then perhaps you see yourself on a raft and there's a raft that floats next to you and there she is. If it's a matter of a beautiful wooded area, then you envision yourself walking through a wooded area. But you create a space that has to do with welcoming her in for a conversation. Okay. And just so you know, I get another female around you that peeks in as well. Okay. So I get two that look in on you and check to see how you are. All right, my friend.
Yes.
Okay, and good luck with getting your babe back.
All right, thank you so much.
Church. Okay, have a lovely evening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. You know, it's really interesting when it comes to animals. We kind of think that if our dog or a cat or bird gets out, that somebody's going to do their due diligence and really look around and talk to people, make sure that the animal gets back to where it belongs. However, I will never forget, we had a next door neighbor. I was about 14, 15. Had this great dog. Dog was so fun. The dog ran off because it saw another dog and they couldn't keep up with it. It had gotten off the leash. You know, it was a whole to-do. They were at a park. They thought it was a safe place. Next thing you know, their dog is gone. They get a phone call later that evening saying, "We found your dog. We're just calling to let you know we're keeping it." Wow. How do you do that? I could see calling saying, "You have a great dog here. If you don't want your dog, I'd love to take care of it. I'd love to have it," right? Or when they come to get their dog, you ask, "May I visit with the animal? You've got a great animal here, but I'm going to call somebody and say, you've got a great dog and I'm keeping it." Never. Oh my gosh, never. It just doesn't make sense how you can hurt somebody like that. We live in a precarious period of time. It's interesting, when COVID began, people thought, we were going to return to normalcy. And in many ways, we have not, and we will not. The way we operate, the way we function is different. Our thinking is different. It's necessary for us to adapt. And the best way to adapt is to use this. Really and truly, use your intuitive mind. Allow information to come through. Start paying attention because it can help you in your business and it can help you in your relationships and it can help you pretty much with everything. If you knew that today was the day that you were going to meet that special somebody, and you didn't plan on leaving the house, well, you might change your mind if you knew that today was that day and you needed to get out of the house. Or if you were troubled with something and things weren't going right and you got still and you just allowed information to come through, you could be assured that you are okay. Too often we look for information outside of ourselves. It's important to listen to that guidance within. That said, if I can help you, you're more than welcome to schedule an appointment. Phone number is 561-755-2166. The website is HalleyElise.com, and that's HalleyElise.com. Feel free to check it out. You'll find there's a lot of information there. Bottom line, yes, ask people that have intuitive abilities to assist. However, remember, you are the one who counts. Because no matter what the guidance is, ultimately, you make the decision. That means, do you listen or not? It means, do you listen plus you call upon your own divinity to hear more? Best thing to do really is take a few breaths each day, get quiet for a moment, and just allow yourself to be guided. You don't even have to ask questions.
Psychic Radio Network and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Understanding Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Understanding Spirit. I'm your host, Mary. Hope you're all having a good week and a good day. It's Friday here, so happy Friday. If it's Thursday evening where you are, I hope you've had a great day. I've got a whole lot of cards here. Whenever I'm tuning in and I'm shuffling my cards and clearing the energies, cards fly out everywhere for my caller. So I'm going to get into my three cards straight away. If you've watched the show before, you know that I'll get you to tune into one of three cards. So you have like a hot second to do that. The first card, if you've tuned into that, is this one here. Get that up close. No, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. It's Dragon Spirit. And this card is to be open to changing your mind, changing direction. Like, don't worry about what's perceived as normal and predictable behavior. You know, just kind of do your own thing, all right? See what's right for you. And if you need to, take a step back, take a couple of steps back. It's okay, don't worry. You know, as we get older too, it gets harder to make changes. You know, we get fixed in our ways and whatever. But just try. Do kind of like baby steps, see how you go, all right? And just see what good fortune comes your way, all right? It won't happen unless you try, all right? A card that I was asked to go with that, I'll just read it out. It's new opportunity, insights gained from a new experience, job or partner. Okay, so if you chose pile 2, it's the Eagle Spirit here, okay? And this is your time to soar, all right? If you've got others that are putting limited opinions, beliefs, you know, into your head, making you feel like you can't do this or that, or talking to you about your intellect, whether you're smart enough to study or to do this or that, where you should work, whether you should stay in a relationship or not, anything that's affecting you, this is your time to kind of not be ordinary. Okay, you're here to break the matrix that is stopping, blocking, controlling you. Okay, so just express yourself. Don't hold back. When we're expressing ourselves to people, we always want to do that respectfully, okay? But this is also expressing yourself as to what you want and what you want to manifest. And don't allow others to trap you into their limited beliefs, all right? This was the card that came, that I was asked to draw with it, and it's manifestation, law of attractions, thoughts become things, okay? So you are what you think, basically. That's kind of a bit of a thing that's going around. You will see and hear that spoken of many times. I'm not saying anything that's breaking new ground here, all right? So, you know, if we limit ourselves, that's how we stay, all right? If you pick the third card, it is this one. It's Aspen Spirit. And this is to have the courage to overcome any obstacles that are in your life, okay? So kind of get ready to step forward,
right? And do it with courage, with grace, with ease. And don't worry about how it's all going to unfold. I feel like you're going to be very well protected around this. And also, even with this card, in Celtic tradition, I'm going to try to put it up closer and still stay in frame. No, I'm doing nothing good. Okay, you'll see the trees that are around this tower, this community, all right? And the aspen trees were used to make shields for soldiers, for protection, and that's the energy around this card and the energy that is coming around you. So get whatever you want to do, get help from like-minded people, family, friends, your community, all right? You have support around you, you have protection around you, and it's also to shelter your soul from fears, okay? The card that I drew for this is self-limiting beliefs. It's that one there. Negative thoughts are creating a roadblock in your life. These second cards that I've been reading out to you, they're from a deck that is for your future higher self. So it's like saying almost in, from the future, looking back, like this is how you're going to see yourself, all right, in a negative way if you don't do these things. Okay, now get to my caller. Is it Alta?
Yes, ma'am.
Have I pronounced your name properly?
I'm sorry?
Have I pronounced your name properly?
I'm sorry. Let me turn the volume up here so I can hear you better. Okay, now can you say again? I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just asking, did I pronounce your name properly?
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, thank you. It's Alta. Yes.
Oh, Alta. All right, beautiful. All right, Alta, how can I help you today?
I would like to get a generic reading, see what's going on with me and what might be coming down the road or anything.
Okay, all right, let me see. I do have some cards that had fallen out, like I said before, when I was shuffling, so I will go to them as well and see if any of those are also for you. I do have a spirit here as well that I can see if you know who that is also. As I'm shuffling here and I'm looking at the cards too, Alta, have you had some, a kind of deceit, people lying around you, kind of cheating, a bit of trickery around you in your life?
Yes.
Okay. You have had your gut feeling all along around these people, and I'm being told to tell you that there will be justice around those people. All right, so don't overthink them. Don't give them too much energy. The little karma bus is coming for them. Okay.
Wow.
So if you've been thinking, like they've done this and this, like when do these people get to experience what I'm going through? It will come. Okay. But we don't need to worry about that. Spirit takes care of all these things for us. Our job is to just shine our light and be our beautiful selves and just keep moving. Okay. I'm also seeing some changes around you regarding money, and you need to kind of like seize the moment. I'm getting with that. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, a lot.
Okay. All right, good. So I don't know if this is like somebody's been generous with you, or whether you need to show some generosity around what you've received to help somebody else. And that would be in, as in whatever resonates with you, okay, whatever the situation is. But that's up to you if you feel that that's called for. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right, beautiful. All right, the other thing that I'm also getting with you is this is like an end to the old and a new beginning for you, okay? It's a spiritual new beginning for you where you see things differently. You're moving on. I don't know if you've had some abandonment around you, but your people and things that you loved, you're like being told to kind of move forward now. From that, okay? You may have to be patient and a little bit practical about everything, but there is a big spiritual transformation coming for you and also new beginnings. You do need to find a balance. I do feel that you've had concerns and anxiety, things that maybe have kept you kind of up at night. You've felt trapped, restricted, not really knowing what to do, how to go forward, and you've had like a sense of loss around things or around people, because we can lose people in our lives. It's not just when people pass away, in a death. And I just feel like we've got to find a balance. I feel like everything's kind of like come crashing down around you. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, it does. Very much so. Thank you. Yes.
All right. Fantastic. All right. I'm also getting that, you are what we call in the spiritual world the high priestess. All right, you're definitely stepping that death card that I got is your spiritual transformation. You're stepping up. The more you tune into your intuition, around situations in your life and everything, the more you elevate yourself, the more you tune in. Spirit gives us more nudges, whether it's our guides or loved ones that have crossed over, they will continue to give information. What I'm getting is just be honest, be truthful. I feel like this is you anyway, and that you have good communication skills. I feel like you're a bit witty and funny with the people that you're close to. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, yes, exactly, yes.
All right, beautiful. So just, Spirit, I like just be you, stay true to yourself. There is a woman here with long dark hair, and she's showing me silver rimmed glasses, and she's showing me that she's writing. So I don't know if this is a friend or a relative, but she's sending you a lot of love and support, and she's following you and she's assisting you at this time. So she's like, just keep moving forward, get out of the old and keep going forward. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, I love it. I'm writing everything down here. Thank you. You're right on the money with everything.
Okay. Well, she's giving you a lot of love, and she's saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. So I don't know if this is something you used to say.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Enjoy everything the rest of your day. Okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Happy 4th. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No worries, Alta. Bye-bye.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from PsychicPaths.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-26 3751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Psychic Pat on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I am Suzanne Marie, and I am here to do a reading tonight. I hope that everyone is doing well and that everyone is feeling loved and safe and cared about. I am a clairvoyant and a light trance medium. And if you'd like to check me out, or if you like what you see, check me out on psychicpaths.com or visit me on my website, Facebook. So today is Wednesday and we're going for Independence tomorrow in America. And so I hope everyone has a lovely holiday. I hope that everyone is being very, very gentle and kind to yourselves. This is very, very important. I hope that you're getting and giving yourself what you need. You cannot give from an empty bucket, an empty jar. And so you do really, really need to go ahead and be kind to yourself, whether for 5 minutes or one. All it takes is to be gentle with yourself. Sometimes we are harsher on ourselves than anyone else. And so maybe you can just look at that and tell yourself what you think of that. We have so many messages going on in our head, and most of them, from what I can tell, are pretty mean to the people ourselves, worse than anyone else. So if you can just be kind and watch your thoughts being directed at yourself, I think that things will get better. I think that's a positive direction. And as far as that goes, the mind is a powerful part of us. And so if you think something and you're dwelling on it, the universe is attracted to that and will give you what you've been dwelling on. So if you're dwelling on anything negative about yourself, that's what you're attracting. We have Jessica from Colorado. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. What can I help with tonight?
I was just kind of hoping for maybe a general reading.
Okay. Let me see what Spirit says.
Okay.
See if I got you. I'm trying to connect to you. Do you have a very energetic and positive attitude?
Most of the time.
It seems like you're very, very upbeat and optimistic, is what I'm sensing.
Yes, most of the time.
So are you busy organizing or are you moving? Because I see you organizing things.
Yeah, I'm refinishing a basement.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what Spirit says. So again, getting the symbol of a tree branch. I'm quite not sure what that is. Are your parents alive?
Yes.
It seems like an ancestor is trying to say something, but in the most subtle of ways. You're blooming. For somebody on the other side, you are like a little plant and you're blooming to this ancestor. That is so sweet, but so subtle. It could have just gone over my head. Do you have a long family branch of your family? Because that's also what I'm getting. Like there's a long branch of your family.
I'm not sure. I only know my mom's side of the family, and it's pretty small. But I'm not sure about my dad's side at all.
Yeah, I'd look into that because it's showing a lengthy family tree.
Okay. And I actually have been doing some ancestry. So
have you? It seems like maybe this is what's kicking in, because it feels like a lot of the things that you're going through with your characteristics, your personality, and whatever is really in the DNA, is very much DNA connected with your family. And so I think some of your family is watching you do the genealogy and really just note that's what it is. You see the leaf. I seen a tree. and you're doing the ancestry stuff.
Yep.
Spirit has a sense of humor. They're gonna show me a leaf. So as far as your feelings, your emotions, and your thoughts, I'm getting from Spirit that you're holding on to something, like you're looking forward to something, and your thoughts are really manifesting it. Is there something special that you want in the next 3 months? Because Spirit is saying yes. Yes, there is. And that what you have manifested is coming, I would say, within the next 3 months.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what it is, but it's something connected to abundance. It's something connected to abundance. And maybe it isn't this moment, but it's not too far into the future that something will say, this is what I need. And so Spirit is telling me that when you come upon wanting something and wishing for something to be fruitful, that it's exactly what's going to happen. And Spirit is telling me that you have really, really good karma. You really have a good heart. And I sense that you've always had a good heart. It's almost like you were born knowing what goes around comes around, because that's how Spirit says you are.
I have always kind of thought that way, for sure.
It feels like that. It feels like you were maybe a child and an adult. Were you an adult child?
Yeah, kind of. And I was an only child, so I was always with my mom and her friends. And
so, yeah, that's what I get. Do you have anything specific you would like to ask me?
I don't think so. I've just kind of felt stuck lately.
You're gonna be okay. I feel like emotionally, and mentally and spiritually, things are going to be okay. And I think that's right, like next week. You might feel stuck, but it's going to be okay and it's going to let go. It's like a dam breaking for you, because you have been stuck, it seems like. You just don't feel like it. You are kind of stuck. So it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Take a deep breath. You've only got a few more days to go with that.
Awesome. Well, that's really what I wanted to hear.
Is that what you've been manifesting?
Maybe, yeah, actually.
Okay, well, I get from Spirit you're going to do good. You're going to break through this dam, and you're just going to go on and have a really wonderful summer.
Awesome.
Yes. All right, honey. Thank you so much for calling.
Much. Yes, have a great day.
You have a good night. Thank you, everyone, for coming and joining me and listening and calling. A1R Psychic Radio has the best readers, and I will be here next week. Please, everyone, take care of yourselves and each other. All right. Bye-bye.
Accurate, clear answers to any question. You'll love Suzanne Marie readings. Clairvoyant reader and spiritual light trance medium. Tarot is used for spirit confirmation. She's been a spiritual reader for 30 years and would love to be able to bring accurate, clear, visionary readings for those who seek answers. Available online and phone. Call 320-455-2303 or email readingsbysuzanne@gmail.com. Suzanne Marie. Check her event page for specials. Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Julie Yeager-Walker, live from wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is your time to shine on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy that you are here this evening. I hope tonight finds you all well. So what are you all doing right now? I had to pull a card tonight for some of you out there, all of you. I was just feeling the calling to do that. So I did before the show. I picked a card for all of you out there listening tonight. And it is from an angel deck. And the card is Isaiah. And it says, it is a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I'm watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. Wow. So some of you out there are going through some really big changes, things that you have been wanting to put into motion. Now is the time to do it. Have you been feeling that calling, that little itch of, okay, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm supposed to be putting something in motion. It's time to stop the procrastination and actually get up and do that now. It is the perfect time. So if you're hearing me right now and you're listening to the show and you're thinking, I wonder if that means me. Absolutely it does. If it even remotely sounds like this is something that you have been waiting to hear or that you have been waiting to do, this is actually the time to do it. This is spirit and guides saying, yes, move forward and go forward and do these things because now is the time. There's been a lot of preparation going on in the background. You may have been even a little bit antsy and wondering if this was ever going to start. You've been planning and planning. So this is your moment. This is that time to do that. And all of the orchestration in the background for, your loved ones and guides to put this forward is, has now come. All of this back planning, and it's fantastic. So whether that be doing something at home, working on a craft, working on a hobby, possibly maybe you're looking for, a new job. It could be anything. If this is reaching you and it is feeling like, wow, she is talking to me right now, then take action on that. Take action on whatever it is that you have been putting on the back burner, preparing, because now is the time to do that. If you've heard me speak in the past about group readings, I had someone ask me about group readings last week, and I say, I always tell those who are in the group that if it sounds like the person coming through, if it sounds like your loved one coming through with a message and it resonates with you, it most definitely is. And this is no different. If this message is resonating with you, then it is most definitely for you. So know that, Isaiah in this card is protecting you during all these changes, because sometimes change can be a little unsettling, a little unnerving. And knowing that you have the backing of your guides and your loved ones so that you can move through whatever it is that you need to move through to accomplish this goal, that is great. It's time for you to move through that and get to it. So what is it that you all out there have been procrastinating on, that you've been waiting for the right time? Can't wait to hear what you all have to say. So move forward with it now. The time is perfect. And with that, we're going to go to the phone lines because we have a caller waiting right now. We have Tiffany in Manitoba, Canada. Good evening, Tiffany, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hello, thanks.
Hi, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. What can I help you with this evening?
Just had wondered about anything on like jobs, money, family health kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, let me just take a moment here, Tiffany, to tune in to see what your guides and loved ones have to say. And then I will be right back with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Tiffany. So the image that they keep bringing me is someone counting. It's like you're counting. You're drawing the lines, and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and you go across all of the other marks to go 5, and then you start again. It's like you're counting, and it feels like this is relating to your job. That you have. And so I'm not sure what you're counting, because they're not showing me what that is. They just keep showing me you marking off, striking things off. In this process of, so are you in accounting or some type of payroll or something like that?
No, right now I'm just a stay-at-home mom, but I've been stressing about money lately. So
Okay. So you're doing the counting thing.
Yeah.
I'm checking in to see what they are saying about the counting. Hold on. So the other image that they're bringing to me right now is counting on someone. And what they're showing me is for you to be able to count on you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, kind of.
For you to be the one that that counts on yourself, because it feels like there's part of you that is feeling like you can't do this. You can't move forward. You can't do this anymore. And so it's about being and believing in who you are and your abilities to be able to do this.
Okay.
They're showing me almost like a going out and doing like a part-time job, right? That brings in a little bit of income, but also gets you out into your community and gives you that, it's like this feeling of, I feel like there's this feeling of restlessness with you right now. You love what you do, right? You love being the stay-at-home mom, love being with your kids and teaching them. But there's a part of you that also needs to be outside of the house. And so, they're bringing back this counting again, like counting your days, counting things in your life. And so getting out and doing something outside of the household is going to shift you and be able to bring in this different feeling and kind of settle down that restlessness that you're feeling right now. Hold on just a second. They're bringing me in with something with numbers. So it's interesting. There's a lot with counting and a lot with numbers with you right now. So let me see if I can figure out exactly what it is they're trying to bring through. It's the image that they're showing me is that they're showing me you sitting around with your children and doing counting exercises. You're counting things, you're teaching them. And it's this moment of having that time and that space with them right now, which is also something that you are craving. It's like in a different way. It's being in a different way than you are with them right now. Putting the responsibility aside a little bit and being able to go out and laugh and run around with them, and do things with them. And that also is going to help bring through this feeling of, to release that feeling of restlessness, and it's going to ground you to be able to get out and to have that laughter and that fun and almost bring out the kid in you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. They're showing me you teaching other people things that you have learned along the way. It's almost like teaching. What they're showing me is like teaching other groups of students different aspects of. It's almost like I'm seeing like extracurricular activities, like art or theater or something. It's like they're showing me that you have these talents that can be shared with others in other ways. And then it's another way to kind of bring out that creativity in you and getting involved with your community.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Me and my girlfriend are thinking of getting into doing like a facial line together. So,
okay.
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay. Well, wow, there's your part-time job.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, it's about you being in that creative aspect. And that's kind of what you're missing right now. Because you are so focused on your home and your family, this is something will give you a little bit of joy and enjoyment, and something just a little bit different.
Yeah. Okay. And the counting thing, like I used to work at a bank, and I was actually just thinking a couple of days ago, I'm like, oh, maybe I should get another job there.
Oh, okay.
Kind of funny that you bring that up. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe it could, because I was thinking, oh, maybe I should start working back there.
Okay, that makes
that. So.
Yep, that makes total sense.
I actually just said that to my husband tonight. So.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, definitely look into that. Because like I said, there's something they kept bringing up, counting. So obviously if you worked at a bank, you had to count out money, right? At the end of the day, or even during the day, depending on what your job entailed. So I would definitely look into something like that as the means of a part-time job, or maybe it turns into a full-time job. So check that out and see if that actually resonates with you again.
Okay. Oh.
I'm actually getting a very big yes on checking into the bank. So, yeah, I would look into that.
Okay.
What was one of your other questions?
Just family health.
Family health. Okay. Is this like immediate family, like you and your kids, or is there somebody else?
Okay. Yeah, me, my kid, husband, and parents, I guess.
Okay.
Anything.
It's interesting. It almost feels like I'm kind of like seasick, like my stomach is kind of all over the place. It doesn't feel good. It's almost upset, like to the point of like maybe throwing up. But they're showing me that this is more of the feeling that you're feeling, that there's something off, that there is something not right. And I'm hearing that your instincts are correct. To that going with your gut.
That's interesting. The last few days I've been feeling like that. So crazy.
Feeling kind of not nauseated.
Yeah,
and like
nauseous. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing lots of specialists and stuff, but they don't see anything wrong. So I don't know what's going on.
It feels like to me, it's like this nervousness or this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of something bad's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like it's more of that for you, rather than there being
anxiety.
Yeah, it's like an anxiety feeling of something happening. And I'm hearing that you're feeling the world around you. Not necessarily specific to your family, that you're feeling other people's anxiety about life in general, right? There's a lot of unknowns for a lot of people right now, and it's like you're feeling that piece of it. So when you start feeling that piece of it, just kind of sit with that for a minute and say, thank you for showing me this, but this is not mine, and please release it from me now. And see if that changes how you're feeling, because it feels like there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, like the weight of the world, and it feels like it's becoming to a point where you're getting anxious over everything. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because what they're showing me right now is that there's nothing to be concerned about.
Okay.
I keep hearing it's all internal. And when I say it's all internal, what they're showing me is that it's just the emotional body of yours reacting. Okay. They're not showing me anything else right now. Are there any other questions that you have this evening?
No, that is That's great. Oh, about the money thing, I had said about my finances, kind of where we're at financially.
Mm-hmm. The song that's coming into my head right now is "The Future's So Bright, I've Got to Wear Shades." So I'm taking it from that that things are going to start shifting for you, and you looking into maybe going back to the bank, maybe doing a facial line with a friend of yours. That these are all things that are coming in for you that are going to help bring in extra income and streams of money, which is going to help your financial situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. It feels like things are gonna, things are going to turn around for you and go in the right direction, in the direction that you have been hoping it would go into, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. Was there anything else that I can help you with this evening?
No, that's great.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for calling in this evening. I sure appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you too.
Have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Melinda, who is in Maine. Good evening, Melinda, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay, I guess.
All right. What can I do? I'm sorry,
Never
go
had
ahead.
a reading, so.
Oh, okay. This is your first time. Well, this is exciting. Do you have a specific question for me?
Will my life get better?
So let me is there like a certain aspect that you're looking to find, or are you just meaning in general?
Probably just in general. I'm in rehab right now. I just want to know if this is the last time I'll be here.
Okay. Okay, Melinda, let me just check in to see what your loved ones and guides have to say, and I'll be right back with you, okay? There'll just be a moment of silence here as I do that. Okay. Okay, Melinda. So what I am getting very, very strongly is that you are in a much better place than you have been in the past, and it's really up to you and how you choose. You have a lot more support than you also have had in the past. So all of those things are adding up to really good things, right? And for you to realize that you have those things in your path right now. Because before you felt like you were just kind of alone and doing this on your own. And now you're realizing that there are others out there to help you. There are others that you can lean on. And so your guides are telling you, do lean hard on those who have reached out to you and said, I support you. I will help you through this. Because those are the ones who really care about you, who really care about your well-being. And I'm being shown that you can get through this, but you have to be able to put your mind to that and say, absolutely, I am going to do this. I am going to triumph and get past this. So
I hope so.
You've done the right thing by asking for help and reaching out for help, right? That is the biggest step. That was the first step, they're saying. The second step is to continue to reach out for help, because where they're showing me like you've reached out for help before, but then you feel like you get abandoned by people and by those in your life. And then you slowly kind of slip back. And so they're saying when you start feeling that, start reaching out to those people who said, I am here for you and I am here to help you. Okay. Because they're the ones that are going to stand by you and continue to push you forward.
Right. I do have a great support right now.
Yes. Yes. They're showing me you do have a great deal of support. And it's a matter of, you need to understand too, that asking for help and getting that support is not a weakness. Okay. This is not something that you can just say, I'm doing this on my own. Yes, you can do this on your own, but right now you need the support. And that's the biggest thing for you, is to realize that you don't have to prove anything to anybody except yourself in asking for help. Okay? Yeah. You have a great deal of strength in you. So use that strength. Okay? Yeah. I'm being shown the hard part is behind you. You've taken that first step of the hard part.
Yeah, that was the hard part.
Exactly. And look how strong you are for doing that. So congratulations. You should be very proud of that. Melinda, we're coming down to, I'm sorry?
I think I'm not getting any younger. It's getting really old.
Yeah, it's time for you to start living your life in the way that you want to live it. And Melinda, we're coming down to the last couple seconds of our show, so I want to say thank you for calling in and best of luck to you. I know that you're going to get through this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from Lady D's PsychicParties.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Astrology and Psychic Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm your host for this segment, Lady D. I hope you've all had an amazing weekend or week ahead. So this week we do have a new moon that's happening in Cancer on the 6th to 7th at 8:57 a.m. That is my time here in Sydney. So for those of you over in America, it'll be the 5th. So with this new moon, so we do have some stuff going on. I feel like generally it will be a quite positive new moon. We have a lot of positive aspects. The only aspects we have that aren't as positive are the squares with Chiron and to the nodes. So with Chiron might be bringing up some issues that you've been dealing with, or even past issues that have caused you, I would say, pain. Chiron, to me, it represents pain. It represents sort of or emotional turmoil a little bit. So those wounds that we have that haven't healed, so they may come up again. But at the same time, we might be holding them all within, just processing that, because in the sign of Cancer, it's about keeping the emotions within, because Cancerians like to keep the emotions inward. So we also sense about stuff about the home or family coming up, but that's also rules by Cancer. We also, the positive aspects we've got with the moon, we have a sextile there with Mars. So emotionally, we'll feel like charged, like energy charged to go and feel motivated to do what we have to do. And it's like a proud moment, like feel very proud, walking with this like proud energy of what we can take on, we can take on the world, I feel like. A little bit like an ego boost with their sextile there. We've also got a tri with the Sun, Moon, and Venus with Saturn. That, to me, helps us be quite resilient. Saturn's a planet of problems, but because we've got those tries with that, that is going to help you be able to go through work through any problems that you have. I always say be quite resilient, because it's when we have problems that face us, about bouncing back. And having those tries is definitely going to help you to bounce back for those issues that are coming up. We've also got this week ahead, we've got a sextile too that's happening with Venus and Mars. So that is good for relationships. Also can be good for finances. We've also got a sextile with Mercury and Jupiter. That's luck with communication. So you might feel more confident in your communication or be able to get things out, give you that bit of push to be able to talk to someone that you need to talk to, get something off your chest perhaps. So let's see what else I've got coming up this week. We've also got on the 7th, we do have a big square happening with Jupiter and Saturn. So this is going to be a big square. I'll probably talk more about it next week, but it can be about issues. I feel like we're looking at Pisces and Gemini. So there's a lot of about communication, and it might be bringing up things about a bit of mental health aspects or addictions or secrets. I'll talk more about that next week. And we've also got Mercury, which is also in Leo. So Mercury in Leo is all about your confidence, but it's also about you thinking about yourself and what you need, and a bit about what you need to feed even your ego. Yeah. Okay. What else got coming up this week? I've got Face Your Fears. I do feel like there's going to be an aspect, because we do have an opposition with Mercury, Pluto, about facing your fears. So I'm saying about getting things off your chest. And it's about showing up. So, don't hide away from things. If you're expected to show up, or you need to be in a place, or you're scared about, whether it be performing or doing something, it's about showing up and doing that. Being very dependable. This week is important about being dependable for people, making sure you're being very reliable for people as well. You can feel like you might feel like the energy this week is going to be a little bit crazy, a little bit also going on. Get ready for great change. I've got here a no more blame game. This is a week of just no more blaming anybody else for any issues that are coming up, just facing them head on, as I keep on saying, and going through that. It's also about stand up and make changes as well. And also standing up to bullies. I feel like a lot with communication, a lot about standing up is going to happen this week, I feel like, with these transits and what's happening this week, and also being prepared. Okay, let us go to, just see here, do we have a caller yet? No, not yet that I can see. So this week is a lot about change. It's a lot about facing the fears. It's a lot about, I feel like, independent. It's also because we do have aspects to Neptune, or Neptune is also going to have been started to go retrograde. And I feel like it's about going through and seeing through the fog and seeing through people who are trying to manipulate you or trying to really pull the wool over your eyes. This is a week where you're seeing through that game playing. And as I've been saying, like speak up or knowing, be prepared and being quite resilient to be able to go through that. Okay, we do have a caller. So we've got here Shireen who's in Shanine, who's in California in America. So hi, how are you going? How can I help you today?
Hi. Good evening. Actually, I'm just excited to be doing this. I've never done this before. This is definitely interesting.
So how can I help you? Do you have a question for me, or how can I help you today?
Well, I don't actually have a specific question. I was just wondering if you could do something general for me. I don't know if that's possible or not.
Okay. All right. I feel like for you, I see you at like starting a race, and I just get ready, get set, because things are going to start to change. I feel like by the end of July, going through to September, there's like a whirlwind happening around you. And I just keep on hearing, get ready, because things about you is there's a big, it's a shift in energy, but also it's a shift for you. I feel like, and I've been talking about being resilient and bouncing back, I feel like this is what's happening with you. And it's like you can take on the world, like you've got like a confidence boost here in what's coming up for you. But it's like you can tackle anything that's coming up your way as well. I feel like you're also very keen to try new things, because I just feel like that there's new possibilities, there's new things coming up. And I also feel I'm going financial with you as well. And I feel like that's where the change is coming. It's like it's ready for you to take that next step up, or a challenge here is coming up that I see for you. And even when we get to September, I feel like there's whatever this change is, or whatever this stepping up to do with the work or the money, you might feel like you're not ready. I do see you a bit anxious or a bit anxiety or a bit nervous about this, but it's like it's your time to shine, like it's your time to step up. And I feel like there's a push for you to be able to step up as well.
Oh, well, amazing.
It might be a feeling here of feeling a little bit lonely or overwhelmed, but you got a team behind you, whether it be spirit team or people around you. I do feel like you need people around you to sort of show that there's support. Like I see people around you, but it's like they're not looking at you. And I just feel like you need their support or you need their attention. But it's like they're avoiding. I don't know if it's your children. Do you got two children? You get two?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. Because I get two children. I feel like I feel like I'm going to them when I see this, because it's like they're ignoring you, or they're and like there's a blame game going on. But I feel like that's with each other, and I feel like you need to like separate them. But I don't know. I feel like there needs to be some sort of support with this. I'm not sure how old they are, but I just feel like there's something about them needing support, or you needing support too.
This is absolutely correct. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, great. I just see these things in my images in my head, so I know I'm hoping that it resonates with you. And I just feel it's like the calm before the storm, but things will calm down. And I just feel like, I don't know, with the children, they're not going to listen to you, but I feel like there's something coming, but they'll have no choice but to listen to you. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Okay. You are very dependable and you are very caring. You're the one that's always looking after other people too. That's coming up here.
Yes.
And I feel like that I don't know. There's a bird. It's something on the verge of the new. There's something new. There's new stuff happening around you, and I can see that also with this card here. It's like you're feeling a little bit lost or let down, but I just feel like don't worry because that's about to change too. But the spotlight is going to be on you for a good, I'm going to say 6 to 9 months. That's coming up.
Oh wow!
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I was wondering. I've heard a lot of things about my financial situation coming into fruition this year, as well as me being able to see, basically reconcile with my 23-year-old daughter, as well as see my 6-year-old son. I was just wondering if there's any sort of financial gain, and if I'm going to be able to see my kids this year at all. Either one.
Financial gain for you. Yes. I see yes. I feel like I feel like you're very giving, but I feel like whatever this step up is, and I do feel like it's going to be to do with money or with your work, I feel like you're going to you need to use this money for yourself. And I feel like you are very giving and you want to give everything like to your children, like to everything. But I feel like for whatever reason, you need to hang on. You need to make sure this is for you. So the children, the separation here, but they need to sort it out. So they're not listening to you. They need to sort it out themselves. And I feel like one can be quite negative, and it's like it's a blame game. So I see them blaming if it's the other one, or it's like that they're not at fault, but they really need to stand and look at themselves and realize that it takes two people,
right?
And then that takes courage for them to do that. Yep. I keep on hearing September, so I feel like that September is going to be a month of change. I do feel like there'll be a reconciliation between your children where they will come together, but it has to be on it's like their own terms, or I don't know if it's the female. I feel like she kind of needs to make the first move, but she needs to, some things you can tolerate. And I feel like she needs to learn that you can tolerate some things, obviously not everything, but some things there needs to be a forgiveness and forget and a toleration there for them. Okay. But I hope I've helped you today.
Oh, immensely. Yes, thank you so incredibly much. I'm incredibly astonished. And thank you immensely, like I said. And you have a boss or somebody above you, I want to thank them too. You just did an amazing job. Thank you, Danielle.
No worries. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good day today.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. So everybody, this week is going to be got this new moon coming up tomorrow. So it is going to be exciting times for this week ahead. We've got some really good transits as well as some challenging ones. But if you want to contact me, you can. My website is Lady D Psychic Parties. Same as my Facebook page is Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram is Lady D Psychic, and my TikTok is Lady D Psychic, and my YouTube is Lady D. If you can't find it underneath that, it is the Psychic Danielle. Okay, I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you back in my regular place in Sydney at the same time though next week. So bye for now.